Hello and welcome to DreamHack Summer here in Sweden. It is an absolute pleasure to be joined with you at home for what plans to be an electric 3 days of FC action. My name is Richard Buckley, and I'm also pleased to be joined alongside a stellar cast of my friends and guests. Not only Mr. Brandon Smith on the far end, the one and only Ryan Pessoa, but also Alex B. Thank you very much, chaps, for joining me. It's going to be unbelievable. 512 players have come in to compete when it comes to DreamHack Summer, and they're all fighting for the road to the Esports World Cup. If you're wondering what the Esports World Cup is, let me tell you a little bit about it. It is the highlight of the esports calendar, Brandon. It is 21 games, $60 million, and 8 weeks of action. It
really is indeed. This is going to be insane. Of course, it does all unfold this summer in Riyadh, but to get there, that is the important question. We were in Dallas for DreamHack over there to give 2 spots away for the Esports World Cup. This weekend, we will give away 6 more tickets directly here from Sweden into that Esports World Cup. And then after that, Richard, there's still 4 more players to find, which I'm sure we'll explain as the tournament unfolds. Yeah, we absolutely will. But the Esports World Cup, not only that $60 million, not only with 21 games, there is also a very special club element. And if you're wondering for a little bit more information about it, have a look at this.
$60 million!
You've been seeing that a lot, right? What does it all mean, though? Here's my friend Alex Machine Richardson to help explain.
So, 60 mil, 20 tournaments, 8 weeks. You probably already know. But how does a club prove themselves to be the very best in the world? That is where the Esports World Cup Club Championship comes in.
The Club Championship is where things really heat up. $20 million awarded to the top 16 clubs, with the newly crowned best club in the world awarded an astonishing $7 million.
Wait, so how does that actually work?
It's simple. We've got 20 tournaments. In each tournament, the top 8 teams get awarded points towards their club championship total. The higher you place, the more points you get. Now, these points are worth the same in all titles, so it is important to not put all of your eggs in one basket. But it's important to remember that the club champion needs to win at least one individual game tournament.
Nice, so we'll probably be seeing clubs trying to qualify across a range of games to have the best chance of getting their hands on $7 million.
Yeah, man, there's your incentive. More clubs, across more games, more competition.
And so the race begins. This summer, we will crown the best esports club in the world.
Well, there can only be one club champion when it comes to the Esports World Cup. However, let's lock down into FC24 and find out how those spots for the Esports World Cup will be distributed. Ryan Pessoa, talk me through it.
Yep, of course. A few weeks ago in Dallas, we saw 2 spots given away. There are 6 slots for the EWC Esports World Cup available in Sweden this weekend, and 512 players, 6 spots, so it's not going to be easy.
It certainly won't be. We've got those last chance qualifiers. We've also got some familiar faces who have already qualified into the Esports World Cup Grand Finals. Some of the best players on the planet, Alex.
Yeah, some of the best players on the planet. And if they're here now and they know, you know what, I'm already there, I can just go out and I can experiment, I can play against these players and just essentially use this as practice and obviously go all that way to try and win some money in the process.
Well, we know 6 players there who are already going to be qualified. We told you that there's 512 players who have come in to DreamHack Summer, into Young Shopping to qualify, but this is how the tournament is broken down. An afternoon session, a morning session on both Friday and Saturday. We have 4 groups with 128 players in each. In those groups, each tournament, each bracket, you could say, has 32 players. From those 32 players, 2 will qualify from bracket A, group 1, bracket B, group 1, etc., etc., until we have a 32-player bracket. And that is where Sunday comes into it, where you can see those golden spots. Brandon, only 6, 4 from the winners bracket and 2 from the losers will qualify through.
Absolutely. I mean, look, this is the storyline today. By the end of play today, there should be, touch wood, hopefully 16 players that are already into that knockout bracket on the playoffs on Sunday. Of course, we're back again tomorrow to do the exact same thing. 256 more players will battle out for 16 more spots. And to be brutally honest with you, Rich, there's a lot of games going on at the moment. There's a lot of players in this room. There has been a small, of course, delay to the afternoon session, but for our morning session, we are getting down to the nitty-gritty now, and some players have already been eliminated.
Yeah, there certainly is. I'll give you the opportunity to tell us who those players have been eliminated very shortly. Not only is there spots to the Esports World Cup here distributed at DreamHack Summer, there is also prize money on the line, with $25,000 going home to the first spot, 15k to second, and you can see that incremented down throughout. That's why a PH a Mark 11, Emre and Manu are here, because they can win 25k as well as potentially knock out some tough competition. And this is what you are getting to see now live. You can see me in the big screen there. Hello. The atmosphere, it's been building throughout the day. I mean, we've seen shock exits, we've seen great performances, and we are starting to see the story come together. When we talk about those tournament brackets, Brandon, I'm not necessarily going to ask you to run me through every single player or how teams are getting on, but there are some big matchups to look forward to. Tom Stokes is in a losers semi-final.
Yep.
He's waiting for an opponent. Basically, if you win the losers bracket, you qualify through into Sunday. If you win the winners bracket, you qualify into Sunday. That's the key information for you. Win the losers or be unbeaten throughout. There's some big names that have missed, though. Nicholas.
Yeah, Nicholas
eliminated.
Is eliminated out of the tournament. And look, that was the same storyline you could argue in Dallas for quite a few players. Some players were eliminated earlier on. I think the key thing to mention is there's a lot of Stokes fans watching now. He's not in action yet.
He will be.
There's a game currently taking place just behind us between Kone and Karim Isbak. Whoever wins that game will be playing against Stokes in that loser matchup, Rich. So he might be on the bottom side of the bracket, but if he wins 2 games from this point, he'll be there on Sunday.
We're going to have a look at some winners bracket matchups very shortly indeed. A couple of players in those winners brackets that you want to keep your eyes on. Tex, he's been unbeaten throughout today. It really is it's such a hard tournament to qualify out of, Ryan. Obviously a pro player yourself, an ex-pro player. How would you even start to break this down? Like it's often a cliche, you take every game as it comes, but this environment, it's hard to do that.
Absolutely. I think, weirdly enough, a lot of the players will have alleviated pressure off their shoulders. I don't think they'll go into the tournament thinking, all right, I must qualify. Although you still would have that belief that you can do it. You wouldn't put all of that pressure on your shoulders. But for somebody like Tex, I'm sure definitely he'd be ready and raring to go. And he has a tough game against Khan.
It certainly is. Brandon, I know you've got the brackets there in front of you. How did Tex get to this point? What's it look like for him when you look at his individual run in this tournament thus far and the games that he's played in order to be one match away from going through into Sunday's final 32 bracket?
Yeah, well, luckily enough for Tex, he hasn't had to drop down to the lower bracket at all. Some of the big results he's on the way through, such as Benny CR7, Leandro Pachot, who played on that bracket as well. Now he plays against Can of Galatasaray, the Turkish player.
What about his opponent? How's he got on?
Is a massive game. On the other side for Can, I mean, he's popped up a few times in the odd Wicked Wednesday and in many online qualifiers on the way through. He beat Rampazzo to get into this stage now, and we are going to be jumping into the game very shortly indeed. His game's not going to kick off first, but this one hopefully will. Before that, we are into a quick pause now. This is between Musti, a player that we haven't seen for quite some time, Richard, but has been silently going about his business in his bracket.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you can see Mo Alba there sat behind him as well. I know you know Musti a little bit, Ryan.
Yeah, I watched his game earlier as well against Stokes, and I was really impressed. Musti, we haven't got to see a lot this season, but of course, over the previous years, he's shown his talent. But over to our featured game between Tex and Khan. On paper, obviously, I think Alex would expect Tex to be the favourite, but honestly, Khan is incredible. He could definitely upset the odds here.
Yeah, definitely could be a favourite, especially for the English fans out there as well. We want him to do well. Already won something this season. He'll be looking to take that form into the next few games and hopefully find himself through into Sunday's ultimate matchups.
You've seen Drogba leading the line there, an item that sort of he was dominant at the Champions League, the Golazo version of Didier Drogba. Johnny's Champions League winning item as well is a menace. He's got that extra playstyle plus of technical plus. Also, just for your ears at home, you're going to be joined by all 4 of us.
Yep.
All 4 of us. It's going to be conversation, chat. I think we're also got the opportunity to look at the chat as well that is taking place right now. We will try and answer questions, and we'll also try and keep you updated with the bracket and how it's progressing and who's playing against who and how today has unfolded thus far.
Well, speaking of Tex, it looks like one of these first real chances of the game. He did come pretty close in Dallas to booking his ticket to the Esports World Cup there. Another corner fired straight in directly. He did lose to Sebelioni. He went on a bit of a menace battle in terms of knocking out big names in this competition on his way through. But so far, Tex looking pretty good. Remember, if he wins this game here, Ryan, he is straight into the playoff bracket on Sunday, which only 32 players can get there out of the 512.
Yep, exactly. And you see the way Tex has set up his squad as well. He's got one thing in mind, his centre mids with long ball pass, play style plus in for passes in behind, but his attackers. Seeing Sorloth being started, Haaland, Drogba, Kana on the attack here. Stepo was with Neymar, gets the first goal. And that's a great, great start from him.
See a few people asking, where's Tom Lees? He'll be in action tomorrow. Shorey as well. Stokes. Stokes will more than likely be on the main stage very shortly indeed.
Speaking of Stokes as well, if we can see game D, there's been a goal over in that one. And why that's important here, you ask, is because that is who Tom Stokes will be playing against in that all-important lower bracket.
Yeah, and just to show there as well from Khan how just had that ability to find that space, the driven passes, and no hesitation with Neymar, the step overs, looking to get that breakaway. And Schmeichel coming out, trying to make himself big. Unfortunately for Tex, not managing to get something on that.
Could be a chance at the other end there. You saw Capdevia getting forward and just being a little bit creative in the final third and trying to force Tex back into the game. Corner whipped in, Oblak does clear, and Mbappe versus Mbappe action for the Kylian lovers out there. That's sort of at the back post, but Van Dijk does well to head clear. Tex keeping the pressure on Tony Kroos. Linking into Hossler, he's landed the Giants at the moment as Drogba gets it down and looks for a twisting power shot. This is game B action that is also taking place right now. Dudu up against Musty. You can see the score at the top. That was the goal that was scored for Dudu, the Brazilian.
Certainly feels like as well, there's been a lot more Brazilian names that have come over to Sweden. Lofted in towards that back post. We join this game live now. Tex 1-0 down. And the update I wanted to give you in the all-important Tom Stokes game is that it is Kone that's leading by a goal still against Karim is back. 15 minutes in that one. As he stands, it will be Kone against Tom Stokes in that lower matchup there.
It'll be one-way traffic from here on out. No, long day over people's heads. Traffic, Kone.
Is that a joke?
Oh, that's so bad.
I didn't even know that was a joke. Really.
Same.
I want my toes.
Well, speaking of the new promo items that have come into the game, especially last week with the announcement of the Euros and the Copa America, will we see any of them dotted around?
I think there's a few, but I think mostly it might be Saliba you might see at centre-back. I think that's what Tex has gone with. Kant brings that down. Capdevia, the hero item in game as well, that was upgraded. But a lot of the squads you'll see is catered around the same familiar faces. We've seen Haaland, Mbappe, Vitinha will be used.
We're seeing the season progress, the season sort of objectives. Tony Kroos, 4 playstyle pluses in the midfield. You see 2 of those new items going head-to-head there. Militao versus Capdevia. And there could be a little bit of space here, just in behind. You see some action unfolding, Brandon.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, it's a goal back actually for the German player of Musti there. An offside trap looks like it was played. Haaland, surprise, surprise, makes it 1-1 there. And as we left the game, Tex, unfortunately, is 2-0 down.
I want to ask you, Ryan, about breaks. Obviously, today's been a very long day. They started the action at, what, about 10:30 this morning?
Yeah.
Maybe even earlier.
It's been a long,
You're now playing your big game, the winners' final. It's 7:35 p.m. local time. How hard is it? You've been a player in these situations to keep motivated. There's not really opportunity as well to play a lot of practice games.
Yeah, I think that's the hardest part. You're sort of sitting in limbo, just waiting for your game to get ready. And obviously it's difficult because fatigue sets in as the time progresses, and then it's sort of it's a mental thing as well that beds into it as well.
And you've coached, Al, players in tournaments. What would you be saying from that behind sort of the player? Say, how do you even get them continuing to be ticking over.
It's very difficult to do so, but you kind of just have to take it as it comes. Everyone else is in the same boat. You've all had that time in between games. You've just got to say, look, it is what it is. I've got to go out there and do what I do best. And for those sort of players, having that sort of ability to just ease the nerves, and like Khan has done here so far in this game, just put himself...
Oh!
I was going to say...
There's one back, isn't there, for Tex?
Smart. That is so smart from Tex.
Educated.
Continue. Saw the goalkeeper movement, squeezed it in the gap. Well, I say a gap, it was a massive gap.
Chasm.
It did appear. He's back in this one.
And that there for Khan as well is also where, because Tex has got so many players on the pitch that are good in the air, we see Joselu at right back, Capdevere at left back, who are both equally good in those sort of areas. You've then got Haaland, Drogba. You're saying, okay, how can I stop that? Double tapping that triangle.
You kind of have to.
Yeah,
so now it's going to be in his mind.
All the time.
Maybe I can't move because he's going to go direct with the power shot, and then the back post header might be open.
Yeah, it's advantage Tex on those crosses and headers when those opportunities do arise. And I find it fascinating as well that Joselu's at right back, but then on the opposite end for Khan, well, his biggest threat in the air is Drogba, who's currently playing out on that opposite side. So Joselu doesn't really have that kind of presence to deal up against Mbappe. We're looking for that kind of foot race. It's going to be an interesting battle for them too.
But this has been great defensively for Khan. He can spring a counter-attack against Tex. Tries to play a lock pass, didn't work out.
Anticipate plus and aerial plus. It's a dream combo.
Yep.
Couldn't get away here, killing Mbappe for Tex. Couple of step overs, just open up his legs, but Saliba does well to muscle him off the ball as we approach half-time. 15 minutes left to play here. We have got 3 other matches taking place for your viewing pleasure. 2 winners bracket final matches.
Oh, another game, Richard, that we're going to jump over to as well as this cross comes in.
Ooh.
Defended well by Can. Let's go to this one if we can. Game D.
What happened, Brandon? What happened?
Well, the reason I just came over to the game, Richard, because it's an 88th minute equaliser for Karim.
What's the story of the game?
Which makes that 1-1 now, with 2 minutes left to be played. Remember, the winner of that plays Stokes. That's why we are talking about it. Still, Musti is in front by 2-1 in his game against Dudu.
Great.
And Tex is on the hunt to get an all-important equaliser. This was the equaliser that I was talking about. Step overs inside, does get a very fortunate bounce back, but then Mbappe makes it his own. And that's made it 1-1 there. That one's still in a pause as it currently stands. If it goes to extra time, we will follow it through.
Both of the winners bracket final matches, Dudu and Musti and Tex and Khan, are pretty much in the exact same minute as well, so you shouldn't miss any action. We'll be keeping you up to date with everything that happens here from DreamHack Summer. It's the road to the Esports World Cup with only 6 places available out of the 512 participants who signed up and made the trip to Jönköping as Khan goes 3-1 up.
That's Drogba. That's an near post from corners. It's something that, Alex, maybe you'll back me up with this goalkeeper movement here. Maybe you move him and try and guess what, you just leave the keeper as Tex on there.
It's goalkeeper movement that you can implement just to try and say, look, if you want to go for that near post, but then the opponent can say, okay, well, I'll go for the back post cross instead. Where you just get into a sticky scenario is seeing Drogba up against Toni Kroos. There's only going to be one winner every single time there.
Yeah, this is the goal, the equaliser from the game between Dudu and Musti. Great ball over the top there. Long ball pass plus play style coming into effect. Jude Bellingham making it 2-2.
I thought I was watching the E-Champions League and then for a split second. It is that new Drogba, right? And that Johnny did get to choose, actually, didn't he?
Yep.
To win in the E-Champions League. Speaking of Johnny, he is here as well and in some fresh clothes as well, because he just signed for Fnatic.
Yeah, he did. He looks good in orange, doesn't he? You're just going to see Tex come forward here. Defending from Khan. You wanted a little bit more there, Ryan?
Yeah, I was just looking at the run with Haaland, but I thought he was going to run towards the back post. It came a little bit more central, which maybe didn't suit the attack of Tex here.
It has gone to extra time, that matchup in Game D. We will show you as it closes towards penalties and how the extra time is starting to progress. That's a losers bracket quarter-final match, you could say, with Tom Stokes awaiting the winner.
said previously how Toni Kroos won't do too well against Drogba, but he's just managed to compete with Haaland there.
Yep, Tex could use this goal just before halftime. Whipped in.
There's the flick down, and there's an incredible save from Jan Oblak. Any time of 1 minute there. Let's jump away from this game. Let's go game B just as that one goes into half-time. Let's go to game B live if we can now. This is live for you. We are going to probably end the half with a corner. We are. 2-2 here. Dudu did get a goal back. And if you want to see the best twins maybe in the scene, look at Dudu and his brother Big. I've been so confused so many times on who's actually who. They both travelled over from Brazil to be here. Corner comes in. This is Dudu.
Great save.
Wins himself another corner. The Sar called into action there. This time played short before then. Trying to loft the ball into the box. I don't think anything's going to come of it. Or is he still going to be able to recycle this last chance? Bellingham. Somehow gets that away to Van Dijk. On a plate for R9 again. It's another crazy save. Another corner will be played in. Possession given back again.
Got to go back in straight away.
Flick on into Haaland. Perfect way to end the first half there. Dudu in front after being down on 2 different occasions.
You've got to tip your hat to it because he recycled the play. He made sure that it didn't go backwards. He didn't give the ref the opportunity to blow up, and he knew that the ref also wasn't going to give another corner. Yeah. He had to score that last attack.
He was looking at the door. It felt as if a goal was coming, and obviously when he whipped it in, Van Dijk, you don't have the power to, or the trajectory behind the header to go direct. You have to knock it down, and Haaland is perfect for that.
Well, as we approach half-time here, let's go back to our featured game for this particular round. It is game A, and it is Tex in action up against Khan. Tex trailing 3-1.
Yeah, I've not... We've grown up. We've seen when Tex came onto the scene, the way he played. It's a lot different now. He sort of plays... Well, this game plan specifically for this tournament is bedded around crossing and the long ball pass in behind 2 goal players.
Yeah,
I don't think it suits him, I'll be honest.
I also think as well, though, we have to give a lot of credit to Khan in that he's shutting out at the source. He's saying, look, you're looking for those crosses. I'm not going to give you the ability to do it.
Right there.
So if it's all going to go down one side, which is the left-hand side for Tex, because that's where Mbappe is, he's saying, I'm going to get out to you quick with it, Militao. I'm going to double up on you, use that partial team press if needs be.
But do you think if you're going to have, let's say, crossing, obviously we know how prevalent aerial plus is in this game, would you opt for all your attackers to have aerial plus, or would it just be 1 or maybe 2 at maximum?
Well, I think that's where you have to have a healthy balance, right? We can see for Khan, well, he has Drogba at the back post, but he has Mbappe here, and then he has Ronaldo. And you know then that I can, if I want to play on the ground and I want to drive, I want to get past you with skills and kind of have that momentum in that way, you can do that. But then, if I have that back post cross available, I'll look for that as well.
Yeah.
So having that variety definitely is key. And we saw Tex previously looking for the L1 square centrally. Maybe we'll see some more of that.
These are the moments he's looking for, though. Back post, Sorloth, can he win it? He wins it, knocks it down, couldn't get
corner
into Haaland. It is going to be a corner.
Gives away a corner, though, doesn't it? Goal in game B. As soon as we got it, there's been another one there. Let's see this corner coming first, though. Tex trailing 3-1 still.
Back post.
You know where it's going. It's the typical Tex cross.
Yep.
Superb.
He just bends it in. Alexander Sorloth pulling Tex back into the game. This was the other goal that you may have missed as well. Dudu pulling away now, not by 1 but 2 goals from this one from Mbappe.
Oh, speed.
This is Zach Moore special.
Yep, it is the corner. You just knew it was coming.
Yeah.
The moment he changed it to an outside of the foot corner, you just know what's going to happen with Tex.
And that's where when you move that goalkeeper and you say, I'm going to bring him out to cover
fair
that near
enough.
post,
Yeah, that's
have
true.
you then got something in your locker to say, can we go elsewhere? Tex answers that with ease.
And that came from a chance that Khan had in the box. He opted for the ball roll pass inside. If he went for goal, could have been 4-1. Some narrow the margins are. Tex.
What a ball that is! Second time, we'll get there. On the rebound.
Was that red time, the first one?
It was red timed, and Saliba was there. He was ready to defend it, but Mbappe just says, no, I'm willing to fight that little bit more. And the game has just turned completely on its head. Tex, we were talking about it, 3-1 down.
You can see the stats there as well. From home, 9 shots, I think he had 60% of the ball. This was a goal back here in the extra time classic.
And that's Kone, 2-1 up. He is on his way maybe to play Tom Stokes on that lower bracket side. This game here, Dudu 4-2 up currently against Musti. Remember that that's from the winners side of the bracket. Neither of these 2 players have dropped a game as of yet. Let's jump back to our feature game, though. Game A, Tex pulling it back at 3-3. Let's join it live now. Whoever loses this game will play the winner of Lucas Lecco of Olympic Lyon or Rampazzo. In that all-important match that will qualify you again for Sunday's top 32. Remember, only 32 players can make it to the playoffs on Sunday, and then 6 of those will qualify for the Esports World Cup in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia later on this summer. And as this game is currently underway, there's actually another 128 players that are currently in action.
That's beautiful from Tex.
Could be a cutback. Has he got a pass? Oh, he went on his own there with what looked to be the signs of some sort of trivela.
I think it is Soloth. He's got Trivela Plus as well as one of his playstyle pluses. But he never really looked on. This was Dudu against Musty. Once again, Haaland proving why he is the key man in teams as he extends that lead to 3 goals.
And that would be the first player, Richard, into Sunday's playoffs.
Chance. Oh.
First player of the 32. Looks like it could be Dudu.
That's one of the first times as well we've seen Tex actually look for that deeper cross rather than go into the byline to look for that L1 square to the back post, taking advantage of Militao out of position.
Chance here for Khan. And Tex doing enough to delay him, he can. Drogba back to defend. Look at that, Drogba, Sorloth, Haaland. Just to mix up a little bit more, you've got Mbappe giving you all the pace on this left-hand side too.
That Militao looks serious.
Yeah. Hit it right back. He's got aerial plus as well. Can defend at the back stick.
I think you found your right back. I think there were a lot of not confusion, but
some players
deliberation over who you wanted to play right back.
Yeah, Jostelu players have been using sort of Rauho as well, I think.
Big chance, Havertz. Khan went for the one more pass backwards. He's blocked again there once, twice. Tex still defending. A little reverse elastico. Just does enough to open up the pocket of space that he needed.
We've actually got a feel a little bit for Tex there. He originally covered that extra pass off, managed to just get something on it, and the ball's just bouncing around and neither player looking to take control of it. And R9 is the one who just says, look, I'll take it, reverse elastico, find that angle, and he's just not going to miss from there on.
Yeah, it was fortunate up until that moment. The skill move was perfect. Chose the right one to get the angle across and get the shot at goal. But again, you could argue that Tex would be a bit upset from conceding that.
Well, he's always been chased in this game, has Tex. Unfortunately, he's going to have to chase one more time. Still a long time left to be played. Remember, 9-minute halves as well here. Being played in DreamHack Sweden as we have all season long. There will be chances. Dudu still 5-2 up in his game. He's 27 minutes away from being the first player into the playoffs on Sunday.
Earlier in the season, when we had the opportunity to watch Tex FC Pro Open especially, he was very finesse heavy.
Yeah.
Not really seen that.
No, I genuinely thought he was going to base his play around that.
Yeah.
Play. That's what I genuinely expected that, but
it's been a lot in the air.
So almost everything is looking for it, but
I think that's where if you have that option to look for those back pro crosses, as we see Sorloth trying to get on the end of it, you have that threat there. And if you say, okay, well, I've got an attacker or a midfielder who has that finesse shot plus, instead of working the byline and trying to find it, once I get there, let's go back and then let's look for that finesse. You just add that little bit of variety and you say to your opponent, I've got 2, 3, 4 possible angles that I can look to score from. Yeah, how are you then going to deal with it?
They can only cut 1 or 2 out, let alone 3 or 4.
You can't cut everything.
Yeah, exactly. It gives you your opponent a lot to think about defensively. But Tex has 15 or so minutes left in this game to try and get back into it. But Khan's on the attack.
Great play.
Let's see what we can do from this one here. Nice step out there from Saliba. It has become an even more popular choice along that back line.
Khan's had a few of those options though, when he could have gone forward and ran direct to the byline. He's looked for the pass back.
What a goal.
Can he find the one more one on his own?
I think he's right hitting that as well.
Yeah.
Quick corner played in. Misses everyone, still Tex. Power shot!
Ooh.
Cleared off the line and Jan Oblak able to get down and make the most important save. Goal over here, Musti has put one back, 5-3 now. He's only down by 2. There is still 20 in-game minutes left there. Remember, that is also a qualification game into Sunday's top 32. Back to our featured game now. Big chance here for Khan into Neymar! 5-3. He leads.
I'm a real big fan of that Neymar item.
Yeah,
I've not
same.
seen him a lot.
On it, Rich, I'm with you. I don't understand why he's not in every team.
No, I think as that outside centre mid that can go wide, that can be a little more creative, even as one of the front three.
Agreed.
He just offers you something different. That was a big, big goal back in the losers bracket quarter-final matchup. I believe there's about 3 minutes left to play in that one.
Yep, it's a huge goal. Karen's back
extra
against
time.
Kone. That winner plays against Stokes in the loser bracket in that group. That's a massive, massive goal.
Pretty much done over here. Dudu scoring another one back there. He's going to be on his way. As it stands, it will be Galatasaray's Khan and Dudu on their way to the top 32 here already. I mean, look.
Not over for Musty and Tex. I'm sure there's a lot of people supporting those two. They'll go down to the loser bracket final. But
even in this game, it's 2 goals, 20 minutes. Musty scores.
You got a lot of time.
He scores goals. I watched his game against Stokes. Offensively, he was incredible. But then again, Stokes defends quite erratic sometimes. So maybe it's the styles of Stokes' defensive performance against him.
Well, it looks like, as you said, it will be Karim taking on Tom Stokes in that game. He's 2.5 in-game minutes away from a full-time result there. Well, jump back to game 8 if we can as well. Is there a way back in it for Tex? He's come back before. Let's see how long.
there's time. 10 minutes is plenty of time to get back into a game. Just intrigued to see the subs. Looks like Soloff has gone off.
Full-time result coming in here very quickly. Lower bracket, Dob done for Karim. He'll take on Tom Stokes.
What, done? Dob done? That weren't just me who heard that.
A bit Swedish, maybe.
Job done needed.
Huh?
Job done. Job is done indeed.
I'm confused.
Dob John. I think that's what he said.
Job done. He's going to be playing against Tom Stokes on that lower bracket side. 8 minutes left here.
So much space.
Yeah, it could be curtains.
Oslo. Neymar step overs, runs into Militao.
Who's been brought on then?
I think that's Liao, Joselu as well. Neymar. It's unbelievable. No, that's a beautiful goal. That's a great goal from Khan. Great, great goal.
Deserved to be going through.
Yeah, it's an incredible performance he's had throughout the day. Scored a lot of goals as well in his previous matchups.
Well, that is our first player into Sunday's playoffs. Just to remind you, Tex is not out. He will have another shot at trying to get into that all-important top 32 in his next round.
Just to add on to that as well with that goal, I think it's so many where players at home probably go wrong. The fact that, yes, Neymar's broke away from the defender, but then it's the ball roll. Just that composure to say...
Slowed it down a little bit and then waited for the keeper. Ball rolls past
It's
him.
so easy for them. They can do it in their sleep. But for everyone else at home, that's kind of where they would go wrong. It's a brilliant finish from Khan.
This was once again Dudu extending that lead. Just too much venom on the strike as Rafael Leao goes through for Khan to put icing on the top of a beautiful looking Sunday cake as he hits the griddy.
Well, it's going to be Tex up against either Lex or Rampazzo. And we get a full-time result in that one, which I believe is coming up very soon indeed. And over in this other matchup, Dudu against Musti. Looks like Musti's heading down into that lower bracket. He'll play the winner of Stokes or Karim. Still so much to unfold here. DreamHack Sweden in our matchups. Remember, this is only from Group 1, which includes 128 players there, Richard. There's still 3 more sets of 128 players that to conclude today. That's nothing more than a consolation, unfortunately, for Tex. Let's leave that game and go to game B if you can for a full-time result closing there. Both matches are pretty much done.
There's still so many players left to play, 384. to be exact. Still coming into this DreamHack summer scenario in Jönköping. Beautiful city in Sweden, just over 93,000 people living here. It might have 6 more residents if this is the lucky spot for them.
Added time across both games now. And that'll be our first 2 players, as we said, that are into the top 32. Massive congratulations to Dudu and to Khan. And look, you wouldn't sit here and you wouldn't put them at the top of your list in that 32. You just wouldn't.
No, you wouldn't.
When you've got every single player here from around the world.
Well, that's what this scenario, this melting pot of players and personalities and ability all brings together. It brings together shocks, it brings together surprises. And Tex, if he wants to be part of that 32 on Sunday, will have to go down to the losers bracket. Khan goes through alongside Brazilian Dudu, knocking down Musty into a elimination matchup. I believe we're going to have the opportunity to speak to Khan as well in a couple of moments' time.
Hopefully we can get some players up here, Rich, and just hear about their experience here in Sweden and how they've found, no doubt, probably one of the busiest FC tournaments we've ever seen.
We've seen Tex there. A little bit of time now, Ryan, before he plays that losers final. What we're doing in the rebuild, in the regain.
I always find these games very difficult because you've got 2 players on different ends. One player that's lost a game and one player that's obviously just won a game. So it's difficult for Tex, but he's been in situations before that he's bounced back from, and he knows he can do it.
Yeah, and I think for Khan as well, I think he showed a level of maturity there that he weathered that storm.
Yeah,
pulled it back.
Exactly. There was a period of the game where I thought, when it went to 3-3, I thought maybe Tex could pull away from it, but Khan did extremely well. And I think he scored, was it 7-4 in the end, but he had a few more chances in that game where he could have put the game to bed even earlier.
Yeah, and he showed that variety as well. Not only did he score from knockdowns, he looked confident on the ball and just say, I'll take you on if that opportunity arises. Just having that variety there, exactly, something that really worked for him.
It's so important, and this was his first goal against Tex. 10 minutes in, he got goal number 2 shortly after. Eder Militao, arguably one of the best players on the pitch in this game, building up here, playing it into R9 to get number 2.
That was smart.
Yeah, it's extremely smart from Tex. You have to aim it perfectly as well, those power shots. You've done well to get his goal back in. This was another goal from Didier Drogba in this game, 3-1 in the 40th minute, and this is late on in the game. The goal to sort of seal the deal for Khan. Ball around the goalkeeper after a few step overs with Neymar, 6-3. And for me, from that moment, it was game over, and Khan solidified his spot as one of the first 2 players into Sunday's 32-minute elimination bracket to get into the top 6 for the Esports World Cup finals.
Yeah, and I think as well, when we saw that second goal and it was Ronaldo picking up the ball about 7-8 yards out, there wasn't really any hesitation. Like what we see here from Sorloth, that was where Tex just said, look, the game's done, I'm going to get that shot off. When you have that little bit of hesitation, you allow numbers to get back behind the ball, and that angle just no longer isn't there. Khan, that second goal to really put himself into that advantageous position, he was just confident in everything that he did. He moved the ball around well. When the opportunity was there, he took it.
It was just about the different styles of attacks, in my opinion, he had. He had the step overs, he had obviously the crosses to the back post.
He had the byline drive. He just had everything that he needed to do.
Yeah, exactly. And it caught Tex off guard a little bit, but it was a great, great performance from him.
A great performance it was indeed, and he will be one of our first players into Sunday. Khan can very much get that practice in and relax for the next day or so.
He's got a big, big Sunday ahead of him. We are going to have an interview joining us on the stage. He's on the stage right now, but I think we're just getting his headset ready. It's a special one, I'll be honest, and I think the chat will like it. We've had a few technical difficulties here in Jönköping in Sweden, and just waiting for a couple of the games to get ready and start this process for these losers bracket finals and these winners bracket finals. However, we've got a very special guest joining us on the commentary position. He is a former world champion. He is regarded by many as the GOAT. He is the one and only MS Dasari. Thank you for joining us on the commentary position.
Our pleasure. It's been a long time.
Yes.
So it's quite a fun journey seeing players that I haven't met for a while. Just glad to be here playing alongside the top players.
I think you're going to get underway tomorrow, is it? Or later this evening?
Today, but in a bit. Hopefully.
Okay. How are you feeling? How was sort of this year been for you? Would you sum it up?
I think the year in terms of tournaments, there wasn't that much tournaments. Dallas was alright, could have been better. So I'm just looking forward, since Sweden now that we have more spots on the line, to make it through the whole way to Esports World Cup.
Do you still have the drive? Do you still want to be the guy?
Yeah, I think that's the only reason I'm still playing FIFA, to be honest. I don't have... it's not like I need to prove something on my career. Yeah, I've already won every title possible in the game, but I'm just still playing because I know that I still can deliver.
And how does it feel? 512 players. That's got to be a big pressure knowing there's that many players, but also good to just thrive off it.
Do you mean in terms of players in our group or
just the whole tournament? The fact that it's 512 players, it's just a lot of excitement for you.
It is, but I think as well how split the groups is. Like you don't focus on the total number of players. It's only about your group, and then you make it to the top 32, and then the rest is about how far you can go.
I've got to ask you about what's coming up, what this road is to the Esports World Cup. I had the privilege of being in Saudi last year for the World Cup finals, and I mean we were there I think 17 days in total. How does it feel as obviously a Saudi Arabian yourself to see esports coming to your homeland?
I think if I talk from today till tomorrow, I wouldn't finish. To be honest about that. I've been here as a player and even as a guy with Falcons. Just I think a unique stuff what's happening over there. I definitely want to witness that more as a player because I've been playing for my whole career outside of home. And now I wish that I play in front of my own friends and family and my fans as well who want to be there. So let's wait and see.
What's your expectation for this? Obviously, it's easy to say to make the top 6, but we haven't seen much of you this year. Unfortunately, we know how good you have been in all the years gone by. You still have the fundamentals in the game, arguably one of the best, if not the #1 player we've probably ever seen. So do you still feel like you have the ability to compete with the sort of the new era of like FC24 players?
I think if you're talking about the best 5 players of all time 2 years ago, or the best player 2 years ago, you cannot lose everything within just 1 year.
Yep.
You know? Yes, there is a new era of players and the new players, but if you was that good at any time and you still play, then you cannot lose it within 6 months or 3 months. So I'm not going to say too much good stuff about me at the end of the day, but I think it's going to be always a close games, as you can see here.
Yeah.
Competition is hard with the next players. But for me, the goal is to secure a spot in AWC.
I've got 2 questions left before we let you go. First one, Tex just lost there on the stage. I couldn't get you on and not ask you about Tex. Were you surprised? Did you catch much of that game? Obviously, you were playing a great player in Khan, but...
I've seen the last 15, 20 minutes. I know the guy from Turkish because we played him in E-Nations, Saudi against Turkish, and I know that he's a talented player. I didn't saw how Tex performed like the whole game or the entire tournament. But I spoke with Nicholas today, and I told him I always enjoy seeing that the old players still doing well. So even if we wasn't at the time our best friends, I still wish him to do well.
And final question, I've got to ask you about Team Falcons. What a rise it's been over the last few years. I saw you been picking up players from all different games and loads of different esports. How are you feeling going into the Esports World Cup with Team Falcons? Do you think you could be the club champion? Could it be your team going all the way?
I think we are optimistic that we be one of the favorites out there. At the end, you need to win multiple tournaments in order to do that. The whole team have done the best in terms of securing players, and our players are doing the best to deliver results. it's not going to be easy. We have a lot of good clubs that can compete and can win across multiple games. But maybe I be the decision that maybe I be the guy who wins FIFA and help them a bit. That will be a good story now.
Dosser, it's always great to chat to you. Thank you for coming up and speaking to us as well. I'll throw one of those over. Don't leave me hanging. Thank you very much. Thank you,
Pleasure,
Mike,
man.
for joining us.
Take care.
We'll bring Brandon Smith on very shortly indeed. Let's have a sort of debrief on what we've just seen, though, because, Alex, it was a big performance for Khan. We can see the results now coming in on your screen of the 3 games that we've just seen. Tex that's the other way around. He was defeated 7-4 against Khan. Dudu beating Musty 6-3. And Karimi's back going through versus Kone. He sets up some great ties moving forward in the bracket. But anything too surprising there for you? I suppose the Tex result is the big takeaway.
Surprising, yes, to some, for sure. But I think when we look at the whole 90 minutes as a whole, there was no doubt that Khan was the better player.
Yeah, agreed. And one thing that I'm noting, the Karimi's back, he lost in his first game today. So he's had a monster run through the losers bracket to even get to this stage. And to win that many games on the bounce, it will give him a huge boost of confidence. But he's not there yet. Still needs to win a few more.
Can we have a little Brandon bracket chat?
What do you want to know?
What we got coming up? That's all I'll say to you. I mean, we saw Stokes. We heard Stokes. That's the match versus Karim that is potentially around the corner. I'm just looking over my shoulder at the stage. I can see Lex in a pod. He's getting ready to get underway very shortly indeed. I can see Stingray in a pod as well. That's going to be a winners final match coming your way.
And you've also got another winners final match there as well. With JH7, the German pro player, taking one of the newest Team Hullet pickups there is as well. So Luca against Stingray is a winners matchup, and then of course we'll be following that other match from, I believe, bracket C as well. As we said, there are so many players here, 128 per group. There's another 128 players playing over there on the stage. We'll try and get a camera shot on them at some point. You just don't really know where to look at the moment, Rich, because it's all unfolding.
Great to hear from Dossery as well, Ryan.
Yeah.
You've sort of gone way back with him.
Yeah, long time ago.
He seems in good spirits.
Yeah, he does. And obviously, it will be incredible to see him qualify. If I could choose 6 players, obviously, on paper, he would be #1. I would love to see him in his home country performing on the biggest stages of all. It just seems right, you know, it just seems perfect.
Yeah, I agree. I think we didn't really see it too much last year. I think Abu Makr was the guy that everyone got behind in Saudi Arabia. I mean, Anders was the second fan favourite, Al, over there. Do you think he's got what it takes to do it? It's a mammoth task, though, isn't it? It's 6 from 5-12.
It is a mammoth task, and I think when he says yes, 12 months and 6 months, you don't lose it like that. I think where Dossery kind of has that advantage over maybe some of the newer talent coming through is that he's been there, he's done that. He knows throughout those games, it's okay. I've got a 3-1 lead. I just need to see it through the last 20 minutes. He's got that capability to do it.
It's the fear factor. You see Dossery in the lineup, or sorry, in the bracket. Sorry, the fireworks. Don't know if you heard that, but that was quite loud.
Someone's setting off fireworks. I need to catch my breath. We're going to be back with those matchups that Brandon alluded to very shortly indeed. About 5-6 minutes. Don't go anywhere, because the road to the Esports World Cup continues in a few moments' time. Welcome back to DreamHack Summer and the road to the Esports World Cup. It's a pleasure to be joined alongside you at home and my illustrious trio of friends and commentators, Alex B, Ryan Pessoa and Brandon Smith. We have already started to see big names being eliminated and 2 players book their seat into Sunday's 32. It is the great performance from Khan knocking out Tex, and also Dudu, who eliminated Musty down to the losers bracket. Brandon, I'm going to come straight to you with what we've got coming up, because we've got 3 more games which are going to be end-to-end definitely, and in particular a player that I love watching, Stingray.
Yep.
We saw him at the Premier League. He was fantastic for Liverpool. Could this be the tournament?
I mean, he potentially could be going one step further than he did, of course, in Dallas. He obviously takes on Luka Bish. Luka Bish? Don't know what show we're on. Luka. Is he still playing?
From Love Island.
I'm just going to call it a night. I'm going to call it a night.
He's having a stinker, I'll be honest, Brandon.
I didn't know Luka Bish was playing in this tournament. No, it's Luka of the Netherlands, who did play for Brighton in the Premier League. I don't know where that came from. He plays against Stingray. On the other side, though, we'll be seeing JH7, the German, taking on Danny Vizza, former Eredivisie champion. That is in a winners bracket game as well. And on the losers side, as you said, there's that all-important matchup taking place. On the far-hand side of the stage there, Rampazzo against Lucas Lekl there. The winner of that will play against Tex a little bit later on tonight. So 3 games coming up.
Yeah, 3 games that are going to be end-to-end and jam-packed throughout the next 35 minutes of action. To give you a little bit more information on what you might be watching over the next 3 days, 512 players came to Jönköping in Sweden. They have been battling it out game after game after game to get down to a final 32. Alex, firstly, how hard is it to even get from 512 to 32? Because that's a massive ask. And then you're going from 32 to 6.
It's probably one of the biggest asks we've ever seen in FC's history. And not on top of that as well, we've also got an environment that most players that sit at home and play are just not going to be used to. We've got fireworks, we've got music, crowd. Some players are going to thrive off it, they're going to love it, but some on the other hand are going to go, no, we're not too happy with this.
How would you feel, Ryan? You'd be asking an admin to turn it down, wouldn't you?
I'd be raging. I didn't even like when you just have the camera crew walking across the setup and the stage would shake a little bit.
When you could hear like us commentating as well.
No, that was
back.
fine.
Okay.
That doesn't bother me. I rarely heard you guys, but that didn't bother me. But Stingray, obviously in Dallas, I spoke to him, we speak quite a bit. He was very upset. Dallas, obviously, it wasn't a given, but he was happy with his group in a way. It was more so players that he has experience of playing before. A lot of UK players in his group, but he had Jaden that overcame him as well. We had Harvey Waters, who performed extremely well against him, but he's a man on a mission, and he's expecting himself to win this game, where he's got 2 rolls of the dice to get into the top 32, and he'll be kicking from right to left.
When you talk about the brackets as well, Brandon, on how these players got there and made it into these rounds. When you're looking at Stingray, both players are in the winners bracket. They both must have played well today. When you look at their opponents and the route that they took to get here, was it plain sailing or was there a few turbulent waters on the way?
Well, I think the nicest round that Stingray had, he's got a bye in his first round here in DreamHack Sweden, but then he started playing against
what's a ping?
Maybe some of the more noisier players. He's a big chance early doors.
Great goalkeeper movement.
The goalkeeper movement there from Sting's just outrageous.
But back to the point, sorry, Abu Farzi beating 4 goals to 2 Stingray, and then Valen of Argentina on the way through as well to get to this upper bracket scenario up against ECV Luka. That one goes out for another corner again.
Corner wasn't great.
Yeah, keeper should get there. Don't know what happened for Sting.
There's the box, there's the finesse. No way through on that occasion there. As this game's kicked off, there has been a kick-off, of course, in our other matchup too. In Game D, where there has been an opening goal. There, that one between Danny Vizza and JH7. There has been a goal in that one. We'll give you the replay as soon as we can. This is the goal that's gone, and it's gone the way of the German. Play you might remember back at the FC Pro Open. An unbelievable run in the Open qualifier in the winter. Did not have a good performance out in Dallas. However, this time round he has been able to change his fortunes potentially so far. Wins this game, will be in the top 32 on Sunday.
I like that effort there from Luka, just saying, look, I have the option to drive the ball into the 18-yard box to find Haaland, but we know he's not the most technical when he looks to get for those quick, fancy turns. So instead, he says, Kevin De Bruyne, let's take a pop shot, look for that finesse from range. Unfortunately, just seeing it blaze over the crossbar.
Oh, mistake.
Yeah, mistakes will cost you at this level.
It's a great play. ECB Luka started extremely well on the attack again. Haaland goes for the finesse. He's tried it a few times now.
Yeah, it's not been green yet, has it?
No, it's not been.
The angle's not been there either. It's
Yeah,
been
agreed. Sort of pot shots.
showing
Seen it.
showing your weapons, like a dog in danger would show the teeth. Just let them know what's there.
Nice little step over exits, kicks off an attack. So far, it's all been Luka.
Was Luka the one who coupled up with Gemma?
No, now you're taking the mickey. We are still waiting for our lower matches to kick off.
I just saw a shake of their head there. Al, are you not happy with the productivity of the attacks?
Yeah, we can see that Sting was saying, I'll drive towards that byline and then work it to the edge of the 18-yard box. And then Sting saying, OK, can I find that first-time pass to get quick and change that tempo? Then get into the 18-yard box and do the damage. I'm not sure whether he meant for the pass to go back to Militao. You saw the shake of the head from Sting. I imagine he was maybe looking for that first-time pass forward, but just misdirection on where he was aiming, and he went back and recycled.
Great step from Stingray. Can go forward. Trusting the pace of Mbappe. Toni Kroos with enough pace to match him down the line.
Well, this could be deadly. R9 still buying all the time in the world, and then eventually Luka able to win that ball back.
There's one thing we know about Sting, and that's the sort of area where he's dangerous, in between the lines. Once you can beat that midfield and get up against that defensive line, it's then saying, can I step over? Can I reverse Elasco and get past you?
Lofted in on a play. He goes for the one more instead. Was there a direct header on there, Ryan?
I don't know. It's tricky. I think it was a little bit behind the attacker there. I don't know if it was a perfect scenario for him to go direct at goal. Stingray ball over the top to Mbappe.
Haaland slowly making his way into the box at the bottom side of your screen. Remember, this is a winners' final. Whoever wins this is into Sunday's top 32. They'll be able to put their feet up tomorrow, while the other 256 players battle it out.
I'm surprised that we've not had a goal yet, with just the two players attacking intent. This could be that goal that I was just spoke into existence.
R9 save. There has been a goal in game D, though. We saw an opener in it from JH7. It's an equaliser that's come the way of Danny Visser from this chance here.
Good play. Made it look pretty simple, to be honest, Al.
It was, but it was all about what we saw him do with R9. He kind of drew in the defender, and then it just opens up that angle. When he turns and says, right, now I can play that pass, and essentially Vinny's just got the time and the space to say, yeah, left foot, across goal, one of the most reliable ways to put the ball in the back of the net on FC24.
It's going to be it's not. It's going to be a free kick. At the time, would have been, advantage would have been played. Stingray still can't keep possession.
Well, we've not had many goals in this matchup. However, in game D, there's been plenty, as Danny Visser from Team Hullit has got another one where a couple of minutes after the first one came, like London buses. You wait all day, then two at the same time. Yeah,
I'd like to see that goal back again. We just saw Virgil van Dijk out on that left-hand side where he wasn't want to be. He's always a man there that's available for that last-ditch block. And as soon as you kind of pull him out, we saw the play that come through from Danny Visser, having the time and composure as well to put the ball past the goalkeeper.
Well, we might get our breakthrough in this game now. Nice step over exit. Pulls another save out from Percek.
Again, I don't know if that were green.
As I turn my head, Rampazzo against Lex is basically waiting to kick off. Let's kick that game off.
Chance.
Losers of that one will be eliminated from the competition. I feel like we've chosen the wrong game, maybe.
Theo's on the run, bottom of the screen.
He heard you.
Game D, another goal there.
going to see this attack come through here.
And it's an equaliser over here for JH7. He's back in it.
Could be a chance here. Driven pass into Haaland, takes the space and rifles it past the goalkeeper.
Sting's not happy. That's a bad goal to concede. Goalkeeper movement, he sort of preemptively moved him thinking the shot would come in at the near post, but Luka does well to find the corner.
Got a nice little bobble up as well to get the almost a half volley, wasn't it, in the end? I think Sting will be more disappointed that he's not created more this game.
Yeah, Luka defends pretty unorthodox in his own area. Like, he jockeys backwards with one of the centre-backs. He doesn't second-man press. We see a ball straight from kickoff. Stingray not enough with R9 to bring it down perfectly, but I don't know, sometimes that catches you off guard a little bit. You expect your opponent to sort of squeeze in and try to defend against you aggressively, but it's not working well for Stingray offensively.
Could be a second here, Brandon.
Potentially so. You see Haaland at the back post, just waiting and queuing up. Doesn't go instead. Drops the shoulder. Plays inside. Finesse from distance. Sometimes that's what you want to do, just to pull out a corner. How deadly they are this year. Mateus, we saw a couple of finesses teased already in this game. Haaland just pushing everyone away.
I find it very interesting, the first chance that he got, that he'd rather go to the edge of the box and finesse than try and work it in the box.
The thing is, he's had a few of those. He hasn't greened one yet. He's mistimed all of them. But the moment you green one of those, well, you can sort of, that chance fell in from Stingray defending for the finesse. And this is another update in our game between JH7 and Danny Visser. It was a goal again in favour of Danny Visser.
Did he get a bit hard done by their defensive listing?
In a way, yes, but when we think about player selection and why players are running certain players in their team, Haaland is not only there for anything in the air, he's also there for his physical presence. With his back to goal, he is one of the best players at saying, if you're going to try and come in from behind, I'm just going to roll you and just have that ability to say, get off me. Virgil van Dijk, this is now my chance to strike the ball as we jump back into the games that we have on action. It's why Haaland's in the team.
This is a corner kick there given. As the ball was whipped into the box. If you just looked in the bottom right corner, that is where the live action is. Here we are, back underway. Ball whipped into the box and Stingray defends well. Apologies there if you got a couple of replays. This is now live action once again as we approach half-time. Usman Dembele coming forward for Stingray as he slips in Hosselu out wide. As you're going to see a goal here scored. I'm just keeping my eye on the bottom right because Sting does have that chance and he does score. 2-1 just on the stroke of half-time. I could sense a goal, I could smell it. As Rampazzo and Lex are underway. You asked for a kick-off, Brandon, and we got it. How did they get into this scenario, both of these two?
Well, they both had lower bracket runs, Richard. They've been in the lower bracket for quite some time. Lex had to play against fellow Frenchman Peixoto to get into this stage. And then for Rampazzo, he knocked out Benny CR7, the German, to get to this stage. I think the key thing about this game is whoever wins will play Tex, and the winner of that game will qualify for Sunday's top 32. We'll leave this game now. We'll come back to it a little bit later. Let's go to game D, because game C is in half-time as it currently stands. Luka 2-up against Stingray. There, let's go to game D. Well, it's safe to say, Alex, this is the game that's had all the goals.
Yeah, all the goals galore. It will be now a case for Danny of just saying, can we get to half-time, take that lead, and then growing with confidence as we get into that second half. And obviously for JH7,
it's a lovely ball.
Knock on the door, Mbappe. Back post, cross, Haaland. Brilliant goalkeeping there from Petr Cech.
He's a player, Danny Visser, that we've seen around the scene for quite a long time.
Yeah.
Obviously, I believe he had an Eredivisie victory not too long ago, maybe a couple of years ago, but why is it maybe that he's not progressed in the way that you look at Levi David and Emre Yilmaz and Manu Bashori? Do you feel as though he's potentially been in the shadows a little bit?
I think in the shadows, maybe it's a little bit harsh, but I think Danny Visser over the years, when he first came onto the scene, was incredible, especially in the online tournaments. He was somebody that he always seemed to make a late run in tournaments, but never really crossed that line. And I think now, obviously seeing the success of a lot of teams in in the E division, a lot of the players having success. Maybe that could sort of push him on to try and reach those levels as well.
Well, it was in 2019 where he won the E division. Since then, he has still been competing in that Dutch league year after year, but I think, to your point, being around the same environment as winners such as Team Mullet keep on producing, certainly only going to keep you motivated. Nice step over exit. 3-3 on the stroke of half-time. Danny Vista will be crying out to the referee saying, where was this extra minute? Should have been done.
I'd like to see that again. I'm not sure if there was just that little offside trap there from Danny just to try and stop any sort of driven passes. It just didn't work out. Simply the change of tempo there from J87 saying, look,
composure.
I can go for the first time pass, go through, step over, and then, green time finish as well, near post, wait for that goalkeeper movement. Brilliant attacking him, just unbelievable composure.
Heading over to our other game, Lex versus Rampazzo in the loser bracket. Winner of this game does play Tex. Of course, lost his game earlier on against Khan. Rampazzo winning 1-0 in this game.
Important game as well, because if you're eliminated, Ryan, that's it.
Yeah, and Rampazzo as well. He's sort of been around players that have performed extremely well. You see behind him is his coach.
There must be a bigger pressure as well when you're coming from Brazil.
Yeah.
Because those flight costs aren't as cheap as they are from London, are they?
Yep, long journey, invest a lot of money into the players that are in this competition. To even earn any money back, you need to finish in the top 16, so.
Yeah. Top 16 to get $2,000. Let's go back to the game, see if we can. That's just kicked off for the second half there, and there has been a goal, and it's gone the opposite way of Stingray. It's gone the way of Luca.
It's not what you want if you're Stingray. You go right on the stroke of half-time. You go into the break, getting a bit of confidence, getting a little bit of momentum with you. It's a knockdown header, as you would expect when Haaland is so dangerous. Like a...
Don't even say it.
He's the alpha male. He is the predator, the great white shark in the box. No one can get near him.
Well then, 3 games still underway here. Live from DreamHack Sweden. There are so many games taking place all around, and we can only provide you with up to 3 to 4 matches at a time on our main featured broadcast. Here's the potential chance.
Oh, turn back inside. Look at the space as well. Mbappe on the far side does well. The aggressive defending from Stingray.
Cuts it back. Dembele, keeper's gone off his line. Crossbarring in.
I like that from Sting. Joselu, we're seeing him being played at right back, mainly for that defensive area, saying, look, I want to try and stop Haaland in that way. But when you have that sort of ability of that player who's so good in the air, the overlapping run, the L1 triangle over the top, and then saying, look, you just done me with a knockdown, I'm going to come and bring it back the same. Finds himself back into the game at 3-2.
As we jump on board here with Lex and Rampazzo. This is a losers semi-final matchup. Talk to me about Lex, because he's the pros' favourite.
Yeah, I'm telling you. But he just doesn't.
Why? What is it?
It's just the way he plays offensively, his press. It's just instinctive with his build-up as well. It's just in person at some tournaments he doesn't perform, and I don't know.
We saw him at the E-League and finals.
Yeah, and he narrowly lost out though. It was close.
Yeah.
It was very
The
close.
Champions League as well.
Yeah. By the way, this camera angle, for whoever who this is shocking.
I feel like we're
Dizzy.
It's a bit low.
Yeah.
We're pitch side. What a ball that is!
Offside.
Just offside. Good line. When you talk, I want to continue that conversation about Lex as well, because at the E-League and finals we were there in person. We watched the best of 7. It went all the way to the game 7, and Lex played it. Even though on the day, Kurtadala was the better player.
Yeah.
The two of them. Can you be unbelievable online and struggle online, and how do you get over those?
It's the mental hurdle. You kind of just need to perform once in person, and then from there on in, it just sort of.
So you've seen him at World Championships before?
Yeah.
You were there last year in Riyadh, if I'm not mistaken.
Lex is, I'm telling you, he's unbelievable. Unbelievable.
He's good at qualifying.
Was he better last year?
Yes.
Yeah, I would say so, yeah.
There is also just great qualifiers in the scene. Players can be unbelievable at making events and getting to 64s and 32s.
Yep.
But when it gets that final hurdle of getting to a quarter-final or getting to a top 4, if you look through the list of names, there is a lot of names that they've got loads of prize money, they've got loads of achievements, but getting their hands on trophies is where they fall down.
I think if you look at it from real-life football terms as well, there's some players that just thrive in the real-life game in big games. And there's some that just shy away from ever so slightly. It could be a similar sort of case where when you get into those big moments, those big environments in person, you can struggle to kind of match that tempo that you might do online.
Well, let's jump back to this one now then. Remember, this is a winner's match. As it currently stands, Galatasaray's Khan and Dudu are in the top 32 on Sunday. The winner of this game and the Stingray matchup will also join them on Sunday's winners' side of the bracket as well. Into the pause we go. Let's leave this game.
Where do you want to go?
Let's go game C as well. The Stingray matchup where he
got a big goal back.
Only 3-2 down though. He's having to defend this chance though from Danny. This is teammate Luca, who's been superb by the way.
Another conversation that I think it's important to have. Obviously the crossing meta is what it is, and it is so strong at this current moment. I will continue this conversation after this chance comes in from Tony Cruz. You've got Haaland on the pitch, you've got Hostel on the pitch, even Sorloth we've seen, Drogba. How do you not just constantly cross the ball and keep your attacks creative when you've got these players on the pitch as Haaland pokes it in there to make it 4-2? I'll come to you with that question.
I think what a lot of people maybe don't understand with this, as we just see that goal coming through, is that it isn't as simple as just put it in the air and Haaland will win it. There's a lot of prep work that goes into it. It's triggering that runner, it's getting to the byline, it's player lock into the back post, it's looking for that L1 square, it's then triggering a runner in from deep and playing for a central kind of knockdown. There's so many different elements to it, but what it does do when you have those players on the pitch is it says, I'm not really going to be able to dance around in the 18-yard box. We saw Haaland there for Sting trying to find his way, and he goes for that step over, but it's a bit clunky, it's a bit heavy. When you have someone like Mbappe, Neymar in those areas, they're just so much more slick. It's much more difficult for the opponent to defend. So you have to find that good balance with it. Players, yes, are the best at adapting to whatever that current meta is, but you still need to have different ways and different angles to score.
Are the big players sometimes, Ryan, just distractions?
That's what I was going to say. That's what I feel like they should be. I don't think you should base your whole
screen.
Yeah, you shouldn't base your whole play around crossing. I think it's an element of the attack that's so important, but you still need the nimble players, in my opinion.
And would you say that's where, we saw it in the past? The German cross, when someone used to trigger that run from deep for the centre mid or the centre back,
yeah,
that was so dangerous that they'd switch to their centre backs themselves and go, I need to defend it, giving you the room out on the wing then to drive the byline and look for that extra pass off across. That, like you said, you use that as a decoy.
Yeah.
Maybe players, you can see that a little bit more.
Back to this one now. Big chance here potentially for J87. Looking to get the most important goal he would have scored all tournament long. Mbappe with a nice exit, sends 1 or 2 or 3 players packing.
Overplayed it drastically. Mbappe, if he was decisive enough and confident, he goes in behind, he greens it across goal or near post, waiting for the keeper movement, and he takes the lead. But again, it's easy to say that from here. In the moment when the pressure's high, he knows how important that situation was for him. It just, for me, it was overplayed not only once, but twice even.
It is very easy to say that up here, but also as well, going back to that, if you take that shot, you get rewarded with a goal. The worst that's going to happen is it's going to get saved and you're going to go for a corner, and that's when your big men can look to do their work as well.
Yep, this is a game between Chris de Boer and Tygo. Again, Tygo online over the years has been a player that I've played a few times, and he's unbelievably skillful. It's good to see him at an important position. We left this game at Brandon, and here we go.
Yeah, that's the goal we may have missed. It's J7 that's got the goal. Why that's important is because the loser of this game will play the winner of that game. You can just see in the small box there, J7, 12 minutes left on the clock. That time was a bit more brave of Hullet.
Yeah, he certainly was as the ball trickles past the post. We did see another goal. I don't know if we've got it yet, between Stingray and his opponent. It was a big, big goal as Tygo goes 1-0 up. in this one. Early chance from a corner, as you would expect. And this was the goal that went against Stingray. He's gone all out press. He's thrown numbers forward. And Luco down the other end. Simple pass back. I'm not sure if he needed to think it in the air that high.
It's
but
enough. It does the job.
that will be game, set and match. Stingray will be going down to losers bracket.
Yeah, and I spoke to him earlier on. He's not going to be happy. Obviously, he's not happy losing, but as the potential opponents he could be playing. Manu Bashir or Abu Fazi, which is either of those two players. He already played Abu Fazi earlier on in the upper bracket and he beat him, but there was a bit of a rivalry brewing between those two.
And how do you feel when Manu Bashir
is qualified? He's got a spot.
How would you feel about that, Al?
Stops you from getting a top 32. He's already qualified for the Esports World Cup. He's here to play for practice and the cash that's available.
Yeah, I think for the players, you know, if you're Sting in that position, you know, you're going to be looking at it and going, why am I playing this player that's already there at that tournament that we're trying to qualify for? But if you're Manu, you're going, I've got every right to be here. I want to play. I want to practice. I want to go and get prize money.
And he probably bought the tickets before he qualified in Dallas.
Yeah.
It's not like he's had the tickets booked.
He turns around and says, look, it's non-refundable. It's a non-refundable hotel. It's a non-refundable flight.
Yeah.
I've got to come. I've got to play.
Do you want me to lose out on money?
I think that game is difficult for any player just because it's the added pressure knowing that not only are you playing against somebody that is a reigning world champion, who's at the top of their game, but it's the, oh, this is beautiful, oh, great defending. They've already got their spot, so it's just the added incentive for them in a way. They can just like, I'm eliminating competition or potential competition from reaching the Esports World Cup.
But if you beat Manu, you're on top of the world.
Yeah, exactly.
As we're starting to see a couple of games at different times. This one, 22 minutes. Game B, for anyone interested, is just over 60 minutes gone. And this matchup is the furthest that is most competitive. Stingray will be going down to losers bracket with only a few moments left. However, JH7 and Danny Visser in a tightly contested matchup with only 5 minutes left to play, Brandon.
Yeah, well, this is the closing stage of this game. Who's going to be number 3, player number 3 in the final 32 on Sunday? Maybe one more goal to solidify the result, or is it just going to be game management from him? Pull it. Down the byline, didn't fancy, wins a corner though, still for his efforts. And you would take all the time you need. Every replay, every run-up, every second counts. What a difference of a performance this has been from JH7 from what we saw in Dallas, Texas just a few weeks ago. What are we seeing here then? Where's this corner going to go? So plays it short. And still possession is in his hands. Full-time result there. Can confirm that Luca is also in that top 32. I mean, can't take it away from Rich, but there are just a lot of surprise names that are coming through in this top 32.
And look, the players that, I'm not going to say the favourites, but...
For example, Nicholas, he's eliminated.
The ones that maybe you thought would have gone through that winners bracket still have an opportunity to do so in the losers.
This game management, by the way,
outrageous.
Sensational.
Chasing shadows.
And in time of 2 minutes, should not be giving away possession anymore now. Hernandez.
The fact he's kept it for that long is honestly commendable. Fair play.
10 in-game minutes, easily.
That's game over.
GG's, JH7, you in Sunday's top 32. And for Danny Visser, he's down into that loser final now. He will get a second chance at it.
Danny Visser going down to the losers bracket. Where he will be up against it in the losers bracket final. Still undecided on who he will play against. It's one of the two players coming through the losers semi-final as Rivaldo proves why he should be on the pitch.
I want to know how Oliver Giroud, of all people, has managed to find that angle to get that cross in. I think there might have been a little ball roll just to set it up and put it in between the two defenders. And Rivaldo striking it home.
The touch as well is ridiculous.
Yeah.
That was a Rampazzo for anyone interested as well, who has gone 2-1 up. 2 games currently underway. Lex and Rampaz are winning Elimination FC. And Chris de Boer. And Tygo van Splunteren.
Big chance. Didn't know anything about that one, did Virgil van Dijk?
He had time. Well, he went to the wrong side, obviously, but it's a big chance.
Haaland. Play a lot, finds Mbappe, nice trickery. Oh, he's done well there to not draw a foul.
I'm going to go out on a limb and say I don't think he meant the roulette.
Does any FC player ever mean a roulette when it comes through?
Shells. Shells used to live on the roulette.
Yeah.
I think something here that I'm not particularly liking on the side for Chris is that Frimpong's at right back. If Haaland ever has that chance to just move over to that side of the pitch, we saw it on that last opportunity, he is not going to win any of these headers. So if you are Tygo, you're saying, can I get that isolated battle up now? We can see Haaland just lurking towards that back post. He's going to tower over that defender with ease.
Does it offset the attacking play, though, having Frimpong there? Is it worthwhile?
Oh, that's beautiful.
Well, at the minute, no.
It's an outstanding goal from Kylian Mbappe, just the interlink play. Finding arguably one of the best attackers on the game. He got a lot of people's favourite to light up the Euros as well, kicking off very shortly. I think actually, what are we, 10 minutes away from the start of the Euros? Is there any Germany fans in the chat or Scottish fans? Good luck this evening.
Where else are we off to now? 2-1. Rampazzo.
Not long to go either.
Eight minutes left in that one. That is an elimination game. The winner will be playing against Tex. Let's remember that. Going to lose the final. As we turn our heads here in the arena here in DreamHack, Sweden, you can just see Mane Bashore lining up for his next matchup as well, queuing in to get into the game. And also, Rich, as you look on, 128 more players currently in action. Who can you see?
I can see loads of players.
All right, yep.
Go on, narrow it down.
Which players in particular?
I should put my glasses on.
Abu Maka?
Who? Yeah,
he's coaching.
Yeah, I can see.
Matthias Bonanno. Ekman of Club Bruges also there. Can't see anyone, can you, Rich?
I think I can spot Berkey Lyon all the way at the back.
Last 2 minutes of this one. Are we in for an equaliser from Lex? There's the flick down. Maybe we are. We go back across. Was there an angle with the goalkeeper movement as well? It's easy to say, watching it from the sidelines.
So I can't see the Iceman, Nicholas, he was eliminated earlier on today. He will not be at, right now, the Esports World Cup. It's coming through to you at home. I can't even begin to describe the amazing atmosphere that is building up here. There is obviously our players competing for spots and
oh my God, Davies
has to score this one. Alphonso Davies, he's just overplayed it. An angle to work with there. The goalie did enough to slow him down. Could he rework?
Oh, he didn't trust him.
No, he can't. Rampazzo stays alive here in this competition. He plays against Tex next, and for Lex, he is eliminated. He will not be at the Esports World Cup.
I don't like using the word that begins with B, that rhymes with Tottle, but has he bottled that chance at the end of the game?
I think we've seen players with worse shooting attributes
back the corner, if not.
for me, you back yourself to green it. It's confidence.
And Davis isn't bad. As I was describing the atmosphere here, there is a live performance actually taking place not too far away as well. There's fireworks and flames that are just continuing to build up this cauldron here in Jönköping in Sweden.
Well, the final 30 minutes here. It could be a Team Hullet player being eliminated from the competition. Chris de Boer, who played extremely well in Dallas.
Talk about players who we saw throughout this weekend. So I got the opportunity to have a little catch-up with earlier. I saw him. Lev Vinken.
It's a throwback. That's a serious throwback player.
Head to toe in, sort of like.
He looked trendy. He really
does look quite
really
trendy.
good beard. Like that, to be fair.
When they two would have saw the matchmaker of this bracket, they would have been like, come on, not this again. Two players that are both from the Netherlands and at some point gone toe-to-toe in the Dutch League over there. We are waiting to queue up 2 more games as well. It's constant Team Hullet players here at the moment. Melanie Bashore will be in action up against Abu Fazi. Winner of that plays Stingray.
Haaland back post.
Big goal it could be. It goes all the way through.
I think that's one of the first times where we've seen Frimpong get into that position that Chris has got him in that team for. Saying, we've got that whip cross. Haaland's going to be there. Can we look for it? Just Ruud Hullet. It's very difficult to beat in the air, even with someone like Haaland. It's just about saying, I'm not always going to win the header, but can I knock him off balance? Can I make his life difficult? And Hullet did that job very, very well for Tiger.
Hullet's another player, obviously unlocked accounts for these competitors here over the 3 days. He's not in everyone's teams, and you don't expect him to be in everyone's teams, Ryan, but he still performs extremely well and can do a job at really any position on the pitch.
Genuinely anywhere. We've seen him up front before. He can play any position, whether it's fullback in midfield as the attacking sentiment in a 4-3-2-1.
And the community have also played him at centre-back at times over the years.
Exactly.
Will the owner of the blue car registration BG04DOM
Fortunate loss of possession there for Chris de Boer. This is where
chance to break on his top side of the screen. Hullet's out of position.
Great ball.
Tigo should be able to defend that. The bounce is right out well over the top. It is the onside Haaland. He is. Player lock. Teased there by Chris de Boer. What a save, Schmeichel.
Back post.
Whips it straight back in. Has Haaland got the stretch? No, he hasn't. Tony Cruz back defender.
That was extremely well worked. It's promising signs, but maybe it's come a little bit too late. He just needs to start applying pressure. But then, of course, gaps open up for Tigo to exploit.
You think as well with the player lot that we saw, you know, you pull that R9 back to say, okay, now you've got to react to something that I've done, Tigo. And Tigo then goes, yeah, I need to be there, I need to defend it. Could the fake the player lot come back through for then Haaland just to look for that power shot across goal and say, I'm going to work an opportunity? Yes, Schmeichel still comes out with a fantastic save and a chance goes begging for Chris. But positive signs, still plenty of football to be played. He is going to need to find a goal sooner rather than later, though.
If you're an up-and-coming player, Ryan, is that the dream move, getting to Team Hullet?
I think it's a big move. I think for me, probably the best org we have in the scene in terms of just building up their talent and their roster. And Chris has been someone, again, they've had him for a few years now. He's been behind the scenes playing online tournaments, but he hasn't had his
That's sort of academy program.
Exactly, yeah. He hasn't had his opportunity to have that breakthrough at an important international event, and it was a perfect time now.
R9 trying to twist and turn away from Virgil van Dijk, who comes out and does collect the possession as he sends runners forward. Vinny Jr. trying to play the pass, but you almost want the other way around, Vinny being the one to jet away from the back four. He's been another impactful substitute late on in games.
Big chance. Saw the idea, just couldn't pull away.
For everyone asking for a little bit of Tom Stokes action, I can tell you he's getting set up on the stage right now against Karimi's back. That game, I don't want to give you a time parameter, get your hopes up, but I would say he's close. Alongside that, Manu Bashore is on the stage right now. He's getting ready, watching with eagle eyes his teammate in Chris de Boer alongside Renzo. Tex is on the stage as well. We've got some big games coming up here at DreamHack Summer in Jönköping, Sweden. It's the road to the Esports World Cup. Only 6 will come through Sweden unfazed and be in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia in late August, battling it out for the cash prize and also the club championship. $60 million awarded over the 2 months of esports action.
Just starting to feel as time's ticking away now that it's just not going to happen for Chris. I think Tygo has shown that every sort of opportunity he's been there to defend. If the one man gets beat, there's Virgil van Dijk. We'll get that block in, we'll do something, we'll make it difficult. We have the goalkeeper movement. Tygo take a lot of positives from this performance, that he's just made it so difficult for Chris.
I've been impressed with his... I was about to jinx it. Have I jinxed it?
I think we both have.
I was just about to say, I've been really impressed with Tygo's defensive performances. See, someone I've played over the years, offensively is insane. The amount of skill moves in his arsenal is so important in those offensive areas. Defensively, though, I feel like it's not as good as his offensive ability. But up until that moment, it was pretty much flawless. But he's given Chris de Boer a lifeline now. 5 minutes left in this game to try and get an equalizer to keep his dream of reaching the Esports World Cup alive.
Yeah, Chris, you can say thank you to us later on for that one. Still got that opportunity to at least try and take this through to extra time.
He should. You could win the ball back, get at least one more proper chance. Just jump back into the game now. Remember, you lose, you're out of the tournament. You are playing to survive at this point. Here we go then. Just under 5 minutes left. Winner of this one will be playing against Team Hullet's Danny Vizza for a spot in Sunday's top 32. And as Richard was saying, Tom Stokes just teeing up his game lobby as well. Taking on Karimi's back, the Italian, playing for Bordeaux in the Ligue 1 this year. Could be a chance, Leon, to conclude the game now. Is he onside? He is. Tony Cruz! Game over! It will be the end of the road for Chris de Boer. And for Tygo, he remains in the competition to take on another Team Hullet player. And I mean, it's one of them though, Alex. You've lived for long enough in the lower bracket, and you thought, how long is this road going to be? Because when you get into the lower bracket, you've got to win 4, 5, 6 in a row. You win one more game, you're in the top 32 on Sunday.
Yeah, and that one more game, for some, is just one too many. As we know, going down into that losers bracket, it's very, very difficult. But someone has to do it, and Tygo could possibly be that.
And it's all about getting comfortable in the losers bracket, getting comfortable being on the verge of always being eliminated, and the pressure that comes with it. How can you deal with it as he rattles the top of the net? Another player, Brandon, continues their journey, but unfortunately, it's curtains.
Absolutely. Eliminated, unfortunately, for Chris de Boer. Of course, we'll be seeing him again soon, no doubt.
I'm sure it's not going to be the end of the road for Chris de Boer in his esports career. There's plenty more opportunities around the corner. Tygo goes through, and will be waiting in that losers bracket final. We talked about some of the games that are coming up. There's some huge matches right around the corner. But before we get there, we have a very special guest joining us on the commentary position. We're just going to have a quick look through some of these highlights. Alex, talk me through how this game was won.
Yeah, you can just see the corner coming through, Haaland there. Goalkeeper just in a little bit of no man's land saying, should I go, should I stay? When you have that little bit of hesitation, that's where Haaland will look to pounce. Kevin De Bruyne changing that tempo in the green time, across goal. Just having that composure, Ryan, in those areas, saying, I'm not going to dilly-dally, I'm not going to look for any shot cancels or anything silly. I'm going to just take that opportunity when it comes.
It's key, and offensively was great. Defensively, up until this moment, it was flawless, and this was the goal back into the game for Chris De Bruyne. It came 5 minutes before the end of the game, but shortly after that, he conceded another one, and this was the end.
Yeah.
In on goal, Giroud.
You got to press. Tony Cruz slammed it in at the near post. A lot of respect between both of those two camps, and it won't be the last time you see a Team Hullet player, that is for certain. Well, we did say we had a very special guest, and we do. Anna, welcome.
Hello.
I believe you were the only female who signed up, who registered to play. Firstly, how did you find the tournament?
Unbelievable. The talent across the board here is just phenomenal, and to know that one day I'll be able to keep up with the big dogs is a very, very exciting achievement that I will gonna hit it, and just seeing all these people that I've watched for such a long time and watch them grow and develop, and now I'm sharing a war zone with them, is just so surreal, and I'm hoping that it pushes more women to do it, because it is scary knowing that this is what you're walking into, but it is like been the best experience today. Like, I can't vouch that enough.
Well, everyone, I imagine, being super friendly. Everyone's been super welcoming. What would you say out there to girls out there who maybe see it that just don't want to sign up yet? What would you give them encouragement to say? Just do it. Just get involved.
100%. Don't let gender stop you from doing anything. I think that's the main thing that people are so nervous of, is like it's a very male-dominated community. That's fine. Like, don't let that be a barrier. Just go for it and smash it and see where you can go, because your potential could be so much better than you actually realise. Get amongst it and just see where you stand. What's the worst that could happen at the end of the day?
I remember watching you. I think you were playing last summer at Wembley.
Yes.
As well, and even then, the improvement that you've had, obviously with the Guild Academy and Guild themselves, how have they helped you on this journey?
Oh, they are the most supportive organisation that I've ever dreamed of. Like, I can't vouch for them enough. They've supported us every step of the journey. Like, I do still work full-time with disabled children, so that's not what a lot of people do, especially in these scenarios. Everyone's doing this full-time, but they're still helping me on my journey to do it, and it's so amazing. I can't thank them enough for allowing me to be in this position only not even 18 months into my journey.
Yeah, it's been unbelievable. Final question before I let you go, because I think we've got some games right around the corner. Anyone that you really do enjoy watching? I know you said the level has been unbelievable here. Who's some of your favourites that you like seeing, and who do you want to potentially see go through? I mean, probably say Stingray.
You've got to be my voice, Sting. 100% backing him. Other than that, I've enjoyed watching Connor from Wicked Wednesdays. Wow, he's been very, very impressive. And then just watching the pros play in action, like live and not just on a screen, it's unbelievable the way they focus and maintain that focus. It's just so surreal and inspiring, to say the least.
Anna, thank you very much for joining us. I believe we've got some games underway, so we're going to get straight back in to the action here on the road to the Esports World Cup. Anna, thank you very much. Well, here we go. World champion in action. Manu Bashore up against Abu Fouazi. We said that Team Hullet players are coming thick and fast, and here they certainly are. It is arguably one of the jewels in the crown for Team Hullet. Manu Bashore taking on Abu Fouazi. This is a losers bracket matchup. Actually, saw Manu, he lost his first game of the day on pens.
Yep.
I was here that early, yes, today. But it's been always great watching Manu. I think he, especially at Team Hullet and him himself, he's constantly looking to develop how he plays. He's one of the players recently who's been bringing the power shot really into his game, as he goes 1-0 up with a well-worked pass across the box. And Abu Fouazi, maybe there are a couple of questions to ask here.
Yeah, defensively, that was a bit of a mistake
it was a bit
there.
shaky.
Yeah, left a little bit of open space for Manu Bashir to exploit, and he's not a player you want to give those chances to. He's got the experience. He's, of course, won in Saudi Arabia last year, so... And, of course, getting that qualification already cemented a few weeks ago in Dallas is tough for Abu Fazi.
So when you look at the bracket of these players and their journey so far in this tournament and how they've been progressing, we said it's a loser's bracket game.
Well, I was just going to talk about that, Richard, because you're right. You're right that he lost early doors to Valen, the Argentine, on penalties. He's had to play 5 lower bracket games in a row, back-to-back, and on that way through, he actually got to play against Valen again.
Got revenge.
Him 5-2, sent him packing out the tournament. And for Abu Fazi, there's been a huge sort of group of Middle Eastern players that have all gathered around different areas here in DreamHack, and they have been making some noise every time that he's been involved in really tightly contested games. Remember, whoever loses this is out of the tournament. The winner will play against Stingray for a spot in the top 32 on Sunday.
A lot of people asking about Tom Stokes. I can tell you Tom Stokes has kicked off in game D. Let's head on over there and see Stokes in action. He's taking on Karimi's back in a losers bracket matchup.
For Karim, it was extra time that he needed against Kone. Could be an easy tapper at the back post. It will be. Not the finest day in the office there from Perchek, who will just put it on the feet of Hansen.
I think when we look back at previous games that we've had already so far today, Ryan, we kept saying about some players overworking it. Shot cancels, skill cancels, whatever it may be, the extra pass, and not just having a shot. And there we see Bellingham a little bit of an angle saying, look, I'm going to get the shot off. I'll work the goalkeeper, see if I can get a goal. If not, I might be rewarded with a corner, a rebound, just something. When you sometimes just take those opportunities, like Karim has done there, yeah, you do get that little bit of luck on your side, but sometimes you just need to have a go with it.
Yeah, it's worked out fortunately for him, falling for an open goal, but we have a replay from our other game going on. And it's Manu Bashir on the attack again. It looks as if he's got number 2, the player locked into Mbappe, into R9, played across to Haaland, and it's a great goal, 2-0.
It's a great goal because everyone there is expecting player lock, go twice, up to Haaland, back post, L1 square. Manu says no, I'll go near. Mbappe, lay it off. It's just brilliant, absolutely brilliant.
Speaking of Mbappe, tried an elastic. Unfortunately, he got the ball back and he goes near post.
2-0.
6 minutes in, it's very unlucky again, I'll be honest. I feel as if Stokes has done enough to get the ball back, but it's just fallen Karim's back's way, and he's done incredibly well there to capitalise off that.
That team of the season, Van Dijk, it's a question rather than a statement. Does he possess Anticipate Plus?
Yeah.
He does. He'd be even more disappointed then.
Well, over here...
You're in the line. You've done what you need to do.
Yeah.
The winner of this game will be playing against Musti for a spot in the top 32. 8 minutes in, it's not been the start he would have wanted at all. Let's jump back if we can to other matchup. There's been a goal live now. Abu Fazi has pulled one back. Still so early in these games too. And as we jump back across to the other game, you might want to look away.
No way. Oh my goodness.
9 minutes in. I mean, see this one on the replay again, Ryan. Talk me through it. The keeper's sort of come out or teased to come out, and he's just been able to run it past him.
Yeah, it's not the greatest.
We're going to get a full replay here of it.
Yeah, we're going to look at it. Plays in there. Tony Cross into Hansen. Mbappe played into the striker, and then the keeper comes out. Yeah, he pulls the centre back out rashly there. So it's a poor start from Stokes, if I'm being honest. And again, though, if there's one player that does score a lot of goals whilst also conceding a lot of goals. He went 2-0 down in 2 minutes earlier on today in one of his knockout games, and he came back. But in this moment, it's going to be tough, Alex.
Well, we were speaking to Denman, part of Footwiz, and knows Stokes very, very well. And he was saying the game that you get from Stokes is 100% on the gas.
Yeah.
It's always, let's go forward, let's go forward, let's go forward. And that, majority of the times, works well for him. Sometimes it kind of says, no, we're going to go and find ourselves 3-0 down. He's more than capable of getting those goals back and taking it all that way. But from what we know about Karim, we've seen him over in Italy, he is one of the best attacking players as well. So when Stokes is going to start committing more numbers forward, Karim's going to just look to pounce on that even more.
Yeah, it's a tough uphill battle. Abu Fazi trying to get a goal back again in this game. Good defending from Manu Bashir.
And we have another kick-off as well. Game 8. Has just kicked off there between Tygo and Danny Vista. That one a game to decide who's going to be in the top 32. Virgil van Dijk's a horrible heavy touch. Fortunate enough, Bellingham. He's done enough in that game. Scores on the doors as it currently stands. Manu Bashore 2-1 up here. Stokes 3-0 down against Karim in 9 minutes. Not being the start at all that he would have wanted. Still a long time left to be played. Another chance building now. He hasn't looked to change up the right back scenario. Is Bellingham still in there? Lost it in deep. That's going to be dangerous. You know where it's going. 3-1 Erling Haaland. Let's leave this one. Go back to game D.
It was actually very instinctive. There was no hesitation whatsoever. As soon as that ball bounced back to him, he knew he wanted to loft it in the air. You said you wanted to go back to game D.
I want to join it live now because there's just been another goal in it. Stokes 4-0 down. I'm not sure what's going on here, but for Karim, what a start. Chivella, Mbappe, 4-0.
Talk to me, Ryan, because there'll be a lot of people out there watching this game supporting Footways and Tom Stokes.
I'm not a word, if I'm being honest. It's been a horrible start. I'm not even going to sugarcoat it. It's been a terrible start from Stokes, but yeah, it's a difficult one. We're going into this game now. Ball over the top. Keeper comes out, doesn't get it, goes 1-0 up within 10 minutes.
Danny Visa leading by a goal to 0 over in that game against Tygo.
Straight back in the booth.
Back over here, Danny Vista. He's currently leading his game. Manu Bashore. He's 3-1 up here as well. He saw the goalkeeper come out there and Bellingham tried to squeeze in the near post. Quick corner played in.
The press right now from Manu is just relentless. As soon as Abu gets that ball and looks to break on the counter, he's happy to step up with Van Dijk, with those defenders, midfielders, whoever it may be, and just get in the face and say, look, I'm going to be here forcing you to go back. There, you can see straight away Militao up, saying to R9, you need to go back to those midfielders, back to those defenders, and then eventually the numbers start to get back in behind for Manu, and it just makes it so difficult to break down when you're constantly being told by the opponent, no, you're not allowed to go forward, you're not allowed to turn me, you have to find angles in different ways. Abu, though, looking for a chance in the 42nd minute.
Yeah, he's just trying to come forward here and create something before half-time. Is Abu Fawzi, however, he's not going to do it like that.
And I think as well, Manu, yes, we know, world champion, but it's actually like, how is he maintaining that press? And it's multiple different things. It's saying, I'm going to be efficient with my right stick switching. I'm going to get to that player every time I need to, and I never hesitate in getting that wrong. Combining it with second man press, so we can double team up and just set up those traps. And it's all calculated. Like, he's not necessarily thinking about it. It's instinct for him. And when you're in that position where you can just play in flow, it's so easy for you.
When you talk about press as well, recently, Ryan, we saw Johnny obviously be super successful and playing on the 100 depth.
Yep. Squeezing his opponents high up.
Oh, we're seeing that here from Manu?
Yeah, I don't know if it's the same depth, but we can go over to our game between Footways Stokes and Karim is back. There was a goal back from Stokes.
Well, he has pulled a goal back now. There was quite a lengthy pause in that game where him and his teammate Ethan Higgins just would have sat there for a minute and gone, what is going on here? We need to turn it around. Rivaldo, our new greatest of the game promo item, does get one back. Still so much time to be played.
I was just about to say the same. With the 9-minute halves, you've got so much time. This could be 4-4 at half-time. It could also be 7-1. Like, yeah, anything is possible at this point.
Well, we have also kicked off another game as well. If we can jump to game B, this is another qualification game for the top 32 on Sunday. Tex has just kicked off against Rampazzo.
He's got a pretty good record, Tex, when you look at his career against fellow Brazilians. I think he was actually unbeaten until he played PhD last year in Riyadh in one-on-one matchups.
Well, We've already seen one Brazilian qualifier already for the top 32 earlier today in Dudu.
I'll be really intrigued to see if he's going to, not necessarily change anything, but maybe less cross-heavy.
Oh, I mean, there's no tactical change there.
I think we'll see the same.
Yeah.
An early pause there coming in. Let's head on back to Footwiz Stokes, and Karim is back. It was 4 early quick-fire goals out the traps. Very, very quick was Karim is back. However, Stokes has just settled a little bit into this game.
Oh, is it?
As we said, we have got 4 games underway at the same time now. We will do our best to keep jumping across whenever a goal does go in. Manabashore still 3-1 up. Stokes here 4-1 down. Tex 0-0. His game's just kicked off. And Danny Vizza leading Tygo by a goal to 0.
This is aggressive from Stokes.
Over there, here is Stokes now. Looking to build up another attack. There's the lofted ball, there's the flick down, but Saliba, man marking the on-rushing midfielder.
It's a great player look defensively there, just to switch to the right player to block the passing in, because you know a knockdown's coming in. It's led to an attack here. Takes a heavy touch, keeper comes out and claims it.
It's almost saying, oh no, I'm not going to win this duel in the air, so what I'm going to do is deal with the second ball.
Yeah.
And you deal that second ball and shut it out, it just completely nullifies what the opponent was looking to do there. I like the idea from Stokes. I'm sure he'll look for those player locks and knockdowns into Haaland as and when he can.
Just look at Virgil van Dijk. He's having to run back the other way. He don't want to be going that way.
Militao can't get near Hansen there. Rivaldo looking to step over, still Rivaldo again. Militao does recover well. Chance for Stokes to come forward again. The idea was there. Saliba steps up. Gets Karim back on the ball.
And you know why he's doing it, Ryan. You know why he's rushing a few of these passes, because he's trailing by 3 goals.
Yeah.
And one needs to feel as though he has to get back in the game. If I'm Stokes as well, the goalkeeper has got blood on his hands for giving a corner away from that strike.
He's about to concede from it potentially as well. Good win there from Virgil van Dijk, back post. But I know what you're saying, Richard, when you're down by a few, even if it's early on as this, you still rush things. Mbappe's in.
He's around the right side of Mbappe. Can he pull away from the defender? He can. One more pass.
Good goal.
And as every goal goes in, no doubt the confidence will start to build back.
It's an important goal from Stokes. It came from that ball over the top, transition defense to attack. In an instant, plays it back to Rivaldo. Green times it to the near post. And there is sometimes a situation, Alex, going 4-0 up too early, especially in a 9-minute best of 1. You're sort of caught in a trap of what do? You don't really... It's too long to try and sit and rest on your laurels defensively, but then it's still too early for your opponent's not going to go constant press that early, but he's going to still be a bit more risk
averse.
Yeah, it's a difficult position to be in.
Yeah, it definitely is, and I think for Stokes, it's kind of showcase here that yes, he's gone 4-0 down, but he's not let it bother him. The fact that he didn't overwork that opportunity, he just says, I'm going to back my finishing, green time finish for Rivaldo. That's going to give him a lot of confidence, knowing now that he's got a whole 45 minutes still to go. A 2-goal deficit is more than obtainable for him to pull it back. Karim, he'll just be saying, look, let's get to half-time. You take a 4-2 lead going through, he pressures on that opponent, and he can just carry on doing his thing. But yes, it definitely does bring something into the back of your mind to say, how should I play this one out?
And it sounds crazy as well that we're in games now in this esport when you're 3 or 4 up in the first half and it's not safe.
You're not safe, yeah.
It's crazy.
From this, Karim's back thinking, I don't want to be a player that gives up a 4-0 lead. It's scary. The replay of a goal in this game.
Had a goal over in this game.
Speaking of not safe,
back for Abu Fazi. From this scenario here, Vitinha disguised his pass somehow well, posted in for R9. 3-2 there. Winner of that game, remember, plays Stingray for a spot in the top 32. And the winner of this game will play Musti, also for a spot on Sunday's top 32 bracket. Added time of 2 minutes.
So aggressive there with Van Dijk.
I'm just chuckling because Stokes just says, I'm heavy 4-2 down. I've got the second half, but I'm still just going to apply that pressure.
It's a big mistake.
Tell you what, he might be in for a goal before half-time. Bellingham. Driving it forward, lofted in deep. It's a really heavy ball. It's gone way past Erling Haaland.
There's still
2 minutes is played. Nice step over exit. There's a bit of an overload on this outside. Bellingham does come back. Half-time 4-2. That could have been
in the game. You're in the game. It's
worse ending to that first half. Let's jump back to this one now, which is in the second half and in the last 25 minutes, Rich.
Yeah, he's speaking of in the game. That's exactly what Abu Fawzi did with that goal. And I've just been casting an eye on this game, being a little bit quiet during the Stokes one, because watching Abu Fawzi, he is building back into this match ever so slowly.
How's he been doing it, Richard?
A lot of possession, keeping that ball ticking over. Look, Manu, when he will come forward, he's got one thing on his mind. He's not going to hold the ball. He's going to go forward and he's going to try and get a fifth. But just Abu Fawzi, don't count him out yet. If you are wondering where Tex is, that match between Tex and Rampazzo, we showed you about 60 seconds of it. Just a couple of technical issues with that particular game. We'll get it back underway very shortly, but I know Bishore could be under the cosh here.
Building. That's the Saudi Arabian player. Handsome.
Really good anticipation.
Yeah. We knew the touchdown back from where it came was the likely option there offensively. Done well there as well.
Well, let's jump back for a couple of in-game minutes if we can to game D. Stokes against Karim is back. Karim has 4-0 up in 12 minutes. Could be on for a fifth. Petchek
Get him off.
did not want to save that one. And for Karim, he's going to be happy to take that one. 5-2 he leads.
That's a tough one to take for Stokes because, yes, Karim has worked that chance very well, but Petchek's just, he's put a hand out, but he's just gone, you know what, I don't really fancy this one today.
You saved that, Alex, I'll be honest. I think you saved that, man. That is, yeah, that's rough for Stokes to concede. The build-up there was great, though, from Karim's back. It was well worked to find space.
You saw Falcons Mike there in the chat saying don't count Abu Fawzi out just yet.
He did send me a video as well on social media speaking about some of the Saudi Arabian players that could
maybe we're going to count him out very soon because
be on the radar, but unfortunately we might be losing one of those Saudi Arabian players. So we're going to go back and show you what's just happened. Game C. It looks as if Abu Fawzi might be eliminated there. 12 minutes on the clock left to be played, and it is Mani Bishore that has scored another goal. Of course, it's Hullet scoring for a Team Hullet player on the edge of the box. Finesses it in. 2-goal lead, 10 minutes left.
Yeah, and that's where you can really look to endanger your opponent, when you can get in between those lines and you can just find those finesse angles. We spoke about it time and time again, where if you only look for the crosses, you're not always going to find those angles. But Manu, we know he has that capability to say, yeah, there's 3 or 4 ways that I can put this ball past that goalkeeper. Ruud Hullet stepping up to the plate from there and putting him.
And I was just watching Manu's POV as well. He was setting up a 4-5-1. Second variation with the 3 centre mids, make it nice and compact in the final moments of that game. As Krimi's back looks to reinstate that 4-goal cushion here, build up on the edge of the box into Mbappe. Couple of step overs. Havertz gets a foot in and this time walks away with the ball. There's still loads of FC left to play, Ryan, in this match.
Yeah, there is. There's enough time to see goals go either side for these players. So it's a difficult one because there's still enough time in the game for Stokes, so he doesn't need to go constant press. He's got 35 minutes or so left to try and retrieve this deficit. But I think a goal, of course, as soon as possible will just give him that little bit of boost that he needs.
When you eventually do move to that constant pressure, is there any sort of formation change that you'd probably look for if you were Stokes as well?
It depends, obviously, because 4-2-4 is very effective because you have your wingers up against their fullbacks. But then, obviously, the space behind them, you're going to get punished.
Another goal over here. What has happened? It's an equaliser by the looks of it for Tiger. Who seems like he keeps on matching up against Dutch players in this lower bracket. 27 minutes left on the clock there. All square 1-1. Back to this one.
What I actually like when I'm going all out of type, the 4-3-3-4. The left wing, right wing striker Cam So you get the width of the attacking players, and it does attack as sort of a 6, but that cam does just drop in a little bit and offer you something else.
And you also then have the ability to actually press on the 2 centre-backs.
Yeah.
You can second-man press with the striker and move your centre attacking mid up.
Into a position where you can actually hit them as well.
It looks like we're about to have a full-time result as well in Game C. It's the case that the world champion is running away with that game now. And this was the goal he did score to make it 5 goals to 2. De Bruyne with the chance to turn around and put the one into the back of the net. Manu will be playing against Stingray for a spot in the top 32 there.
It's not a nice game, that is it?
No.
That is not a nice qualifying game for either player. Whipped into the back post. What a header from Erling Haaland.
I think everyone in the arena here was expecting player like Haaland, look for the knockdown. Danny just goes, nah, I'm going to take that chance at goal. Goalkeeper just didn't know how to deal with it. Just loops over. Unbelievable header.
Well, we pretty much know what's happening in this game. Full-time result on the way. Congratulations to Abu Fazi. Manu might want one more. Let's leave him to it. Full-time result there. Let's go back to game D. Is there a comeback on the cards? For Stokes. Lofted ball into Haaland. Flick down. Just blocked by Militao. Completely off the ball there, Alex. Said you're not coming past me.
It's just the defending, though, from Kareem. Stokes is doing the right thing. He's saying, yeah, I'll look for that lofted ball, very central, to then look for that knockdown with Haaland. And Kareem is just essentially accepting every time, I am not winning this header. So let me stop that pass off across. It's great defending.
Certainly is smart that he's been able to think one step ahead a few times in this game, Kareem. Stokes. Rivaldo sends the right back pack in, but then Bellingham.
Correct me if I'm wrong, Brandon, obviously you was in Dallas. I was watching from home, watching the broadcast. This is the same round Stokes lost in last time? Or did he go one further to lose his final? I think you were in the losers final.
I believe he went one step further.
I think it was.
He came so close there as well. Which is so hard when, you know, the qualification system is already so difficult. 32 players, only 2 from each of the groups making it through. You have to be on your A game. Another goal has gone in over in game A. We'll give it to you as soon as we've got it. Has Danny Vizza been able to pull away with a third, or is it an equaliser for Tygo? We'll wait and see. Here's the goal now. It looks to be an equaliser.
Yeah, it was. The build-up down the left-hand side, and then that cutback, the extra pass into Mbappe, and rifles it at the near post. As we join this live action now back underway. Time is slipping for Stokes.
I think now it's roughly around the time he'd probably go press, constant press. Spaces will open up.
Davies, all the pace in the world. Just going down the byline, there's the lofted ball in, and it's just not connected.
I'd like to, maybe have a look at this later on tonight and see that Kareem is back. He's playing Havertz at right back and Militao at left back. I'm not sure whether that's a tactical change to try and match Haaland in those positions, whether he feels more comfortable with one on the other side, dealing with that. A bit unorthodox, but it's worked for him.
Kareem might be on to just conclude the game now. Militao all the way For the defensive side, Militao into Mbappe. And it will be the end of the road for Footway Stokes. They're in DreamHack Sweden. Fair play to Grim as well. You've fallen up so early on. There's a part of you, Alex, that thinks I cannot throw us away when you can see 2 goals. But you're right, those little moments where he's been able to really manage and defend well have made all the difference.
Yeah, he's shown a level of maturity which over the years he's kind of grown and had that come into his game. Over in Italy and on the global stage as well. To put 6 past Stokes will give him a lot of confidence moving forward in the rest of this tournament.
This would be his 8th game in the loser bracket.
Really?
Yeah, he lost in the first round of winners bracket. He's come through the losers bracket all this way to now have a face-off against Mustu, who's waiting in the wings to try and solidify his spot in the final 32 for Sunday. Sorry.
And do you think that suits Karim a little bit more, the fact that he's just played a game as well?
Yeah, I think it suits the player coming from the loser bracket run deeper anyway if they're playing their next opponent, just because your next opponent would have come off of a loss. You're coming off of a win more often than not anyway, depends on which part of the bracket you're in. But again, I think it helps a lot with confidence.
As we're jumping on board here, Brandon, 5 minutes left to play.
2-2 all to play for, isn't it? Between Danny Vizza and Tiger. Unless there is to be a late winner. Well there by Teo Hernandez.
Oh, he's in.
On.
He's in.
Could be through. It's Haaland. Has he just got enough to pull away from Virgil van Dijk? Still.
Cross goal. The corner is just as good though.
Remember, you win this, you are in Sunday's top 32.
I think
corner towards the back post, and 2 hands on it for Petr Cech. We could be on our way to extra time.
I think we have to give more credit there to Danny than maybe Tigo. To have the nerve to not move the goalkeeper when Haaland can go for that power shot across goal, which, as long as you aim it correctly, it's a goal. You have to move the keeper to try and stop it. Danny says, no, I'm not going to do it. I'm actually going to, I think he moved the goalkeeper near post, which, to have those nerves of steel in that moment.
He read him.
Yeah.
He double bluffed him. And will, through that goalkeeper movement, through that courage, will he get a chance to go on and win it?
Added time.
Giving it away.
With 2-2, he's still not going to give away this last final chance of the game, or is it? Maybe will. Tigo scores now. He's in the top 32 on Sunday. Into our 9, drops the shot.
Oh, what a tackle.
Still just as enough extra time will be needed here between these two.
Well, while we're there, shall we go back on over to game D? Because we're going to have a little bit of time as extra time does start to unfold. Stokes did get one back. It's now 6-3. And he could get another one back here. 6-4.
It's a little bit too late.
6 minutes left to play.
Added time of 3 minutes on the clock. Who knows?
We saw it earlier.
This thing is too late. If he gets a goal by the 87, 88 maybe. But then Karim's back isn't going to give possession away that easy, I don't think. Not twice anyway.
Is it too little too late for Tom Stokes? Neymar again.
You were singing his praises, weren't you, Richard?
Like a hymn sheet.
That was the win there. Vinicius through. Ostalu backing it right back.
I'm surprised he went offensive there to try and go. I thought it'd be more sensible for Karim's back to try and keep possession here, because Stokes gets one back here. Davies in behind.
Davies has to be perfect here for Stokes. Haaland, Mbappe, one more.
He saved it.
It goes for a corner. Tex is 1-0 down in that game. Wondering what is happening. Ramparza leading by a goal. So let's go back to game D. Corner, the keeper's up.
Oh.
The keeper's out. Mbappe just runs in a straight line. And that is game
Karim's
over.
back has killed the game. He ran the entire length of the pitch and did score. We're in extra time now. As you can see, Karim's back from that corner. Did put the ball in the back of the net.
Yeah, keeper came up there for the corner. And that is 7-4. Commiserations, Stokes. Congratulations, Karim. You are in the next round. We will leave this game now and go back to the extra time one. Game A. Let's jump to this one live. Winner qualifies for the top 32 on Sunday. Tiger. To make the most of this one, De Bruyne nearly sends the Hernandez package. Still has got De Bruyne in possession. Rivaldo gets in the way of. Ola gets in the way of that. Still just turning defenders left, right, and centre. Still has somehow got the ball. And eventually Olivier Giroud able to win the ball back. Big goal in game B that's just gone in. We can jump to it.
Yeah, that's the matchup between Rampazzo and Tex that is currently underway. It was a goal back, I can tell you which way it went. Right here, the corner whipped into the box and Soloff leaping highest of all the players in there to put Tex back into this game. As you see, Danny Visser and Tygo van Splunteren in an end-to-end battle here.
Last chance of the half.
Good defending.
Win at all costs.
Let's jump to game B if we can now. Tex against Rampazzo. Tex has pulled a goal back in that game. And we'll join it live now.
Across it, yeah.
But this is a qualification game. Tex 2-up.
I just think they're in that position for Tex. It's when you can work that angle and just have it so that Soloff is attacking the header for the defender, for Theo, who's just stood there, and he's got to try and outleap someone that A is coming in momentum and then has the leap on them anyway. Soloff, he's so much taller than Theo Hernandez. It's almost just an unwinnable battle for the defender. It's great setup from Tex. We spoke about it in the previous game. He wants to look to cross, and he didn't really get it in the previous. Well, you can already see that it's paid off for him so far.
It's a very scary period, these extra time, as you get in towards that latter stages, and you do think about penalties. It's in the back of your mind. Only 10 minutes left to play as
Oh my days, what a win that.
oh, mistakes will mean a lot more.
Do you think now, Ryan, when you get to the 110th minute and onwards, it's more so about, I'm not really looking to score. I'm saying if an opportunity comes, obviously, yeah, I'll take it, but I just don't want to give anything to the opponent.
I think you still have to go on with the ambition to score. I think it's also just being a little bit more risk averse. You don't do those risky, say, 40% likelihood passes in behind. You try and play for the
goal.
The guarantees.
Oh.
Corners are one of those guarantees where if you do it correctly, you can lead to a goal there. Good defending.
Done very well.
Getting pressed. Yeah, exactly. Playing out of it really, really well.
Well, as we slowly get to the end of this game, we can also see Stingray against Manabishore loading up that one ready to go in another qualification game there. I'm not sure how that's gone in over in game B. I'll give you the replay as soon as we've got it. But if you're a Tex fan, you'll be happy with it. I would love to see your opinions on the goal, guys, when the replay does come in of how on earth that's got in. No, just look at the goalkeeper here, gents. The play starts at the back here, and then we still work our way up the pitch. And you can imagine what comes in from this point here. Here's a cross, and then goalkeeper. What happens here? 3, 2, 1.
Oh, no.
Oh, dear, dear.
You're joking.
No, I'm not joking. Texas threw it up in that game.
Oh my goodness, that's a disgrace. I'd be so upset. Oh my God. But for Tex, you take it. You're 3-1 up. You take it.
For those asking in the chat as well, we can see who is already through. You've got Dudu that's made it through to the top 32. Alongside that, of course, we just saw this game.
Luko and JH7.
Khan, the Turkish player of Galatasaray, JH7 of Germany, and the winner of this game here is also going to be qualified for the top 32 as well. So slowly but surely the spots are being filled from this selection of players. It'll be 8 that make it to the top 32.
He's in.
So many more players playing right now to also try and do that later on this evening. Vinny Jr. finds a cutback. Mbappe one more. Is he going to be able to find a way through? That was a late tackle actually on the one going forward. Corner comes in. Not dealt with. Or is it? Hullet, where's it going?
Oh my goodness.
Looks like we could be on our way to penalties.
One chance. He goes forward enough. He's got one chance.
Surely
does
not.
get through to Mbappe.
Referee plays advantage from the free kick. R9, he gets his pass stopped. His penalties now to decide a spot in the top 32, sorry, on Sunday. Who's going to be able to hold their nerves from the spot? Here we go then. Danny Vizza. The step up first with Olivier Giroud from the spot. Does miss. He hits the post. Over to you, Erling Haaland. 1 from 1. Tiger.
Danny got to make it right on this time around with Osulu. Big save as Tiger can go 2-0 up after 2 penalties taken, and does.
Terrible penalties. Terrible penalties from Danny Vizza. He wouldn't need us to say, I'm sure he can hear us. Upstairs Mbappe has to score one. He does. But for Tiger, you score this, you don't even potentially even need to go to round 5 in penalties. Needs a save here. He doesn't. And to basically conclude the game now, De Bruyne must score from the start. Upstairs Danny Vizza, he does. It's very simple. Tiger, you score, you're in the top 32, and it's another, potentially you could argue, surprise name in the top 32. Rivaldo does score. Commiserations, Danny Vizza. Tiger is through. And 3 become 4 each.
Tiger van Splunten into the top 32. Another Team Hullet player moving out of the tournament. He's 1 in, 1 out at this moment. As commiserations to Danny Vizza, congratulations to Tiger. Let's move to another tee. We've got Tex in action. He's 3-1 up. This game just kicked off as well between Team Hullet's Manu Bashore and Stingray.
What's important about this one as well, Richard, it's also a top 32 qualification game.
Everything, I think, from here on out will be.
Slowly but surely, it'll be 8 players by the end of the Group 1 sort of section of players that started playing this morning early on. Here in DreamHack Sweden, big chance, ball roll inside. It's Stingray, Dembele. Corner to come in. Directly into the path of Haaland! Van der Sar might get a hand on it, but it's not a strong hand. Also, let's jump to game B. Because there's also been another goal there live now. Well, here's the goal from game B as well. It is 4-1.
Do you know what?
All these goals come from crosses or headers.
Yeah, literally. Yeah, that's funny. Oh, God.
I think Tex may have heard our conversations about, does he need to add a little bit more into the box? No, I'm good. I'll just go for these crosses. Yes, 2 fortunate goals there, but showcasing the corners. We can go for back post, near post. What we saw there from Sting, deep into the 18-yard box. Just so many variations.
He's had a lot of success from just any header in the box. That would have been 5-1 if he wasn't offside in his game. Back over here. Well, very nearly was 2-0 for Stingray. Remember, Manu Bashore has already qualified for the Esports World Cup. Question you asked why he is here. There is $100,000 still on the line in this tournament, with no doubt some of the best practice you are going to get ahead of not just Riyadh, but also the FC Pro World Championships in a few weeks' time in July. Speaking of Manu Bashore,
how important that little just break for Sting after his last defeat, Ryan? You obviously know him quite well. Would it have been to get him back in the right headspace for this game now?
It's huge. Stinger is very mature. However, sometimes I'm sure he won't be afraid to admit it. It's the mental side of it. Sometimes it does eat away at him a little bit. If he faces maybe adversity in a game, maybe concedes an unlucky goal, he sort of will that'll play on his mind for a little bit. So it's good just to take a little bit of time away. Of course, oversee the game that we saw for Manu Bashore to even get to the stage against Abu Fawzi, and he knows that he has to perform at the top of his game to overcome Manu here.
He's also a player as well that gets very invested with what's happening.
Big chance
on the pitch in front of him, which can work for him as well.
Yeah.
That it can raise his game. If he can get a second or third goal here, you're going to see him up out of his seat, and it's only then going to get more and more. So yes, it can work against, but it can also work very much for him. That break will do him a world of good, just to reset and say, look, yeah, I've got to play Manu, world champion. It's unfortunate, but I'm more than capable of beating him. Let's go out there and let's do it.
He's one of those players that, in my opinion, when I've watched him, he rises to the challenge as well of his opponent. He plays up to their level, and he will know that it's only his very best against Manu Bashore that would be enough to get him any sort of victory.
Oh, where's that going to bounce? You put that one. Now goes for another corner. Haaland loses the battle. De Bruyne just about onside. Stingray good feet. Here's Kevin De Bruyne. Tech still falling up. That's just kicked off for the second half. Vinny Jr. winning the flick on. Oh, stop it.
We also have to remind people at home when we talk about the Esports World Cup, big club competition. Team Hull partnered up with Liquid. So there'll be added interest on that front, I'm certain.
And they've already got two players there, haven't they, out of the 16? Referee.
Yeah, free kick on the edge. I'd love to see a direct shot. Maybe next time.
De Bruyne over it. Not used in the end. Just about makes that one work. Oh, 9! All
Might not have a direct shot.
I'm not 100% that Manu wanted that to go to Hullet originally. I think he might have been looking for Haaland at that
the
post.
improvisation there is insane. Just a quick snappy passes in the box there. Keeper movement pretty much makes his mind up to shoot across goal.
Great improvisation and creativity from Manu Bashore. Part of that Team Hullet roster, which is truly remarkable underneath Renzo and everyone over there that's building something spectacular. Could be a chance just before half-time here for Manu to add a second.
Went for a pretty audacious finesse shot from that far out, but they do go in occasionally. Tech still is forward up in his game. That's his important qualification game, taking on Rampazzo at the moment. 60 minutes on the clock, just ticking over there. And this is the only other game that is currently live here from DreamHack Sweden. This is only day 1 of 3 of the action. Musti against Karim will be kicking off shortly. That one coming in from Group B.
Yeah, I could just see Musti on the stage actually getting a few things ready. He was sorting his settings out. I'm sure that won't be too long. Far behind!
Oh my goodness.
What a shot that was at the near post.
Went for the power shot and very nearly trickled in.
I love it at times because it's almost like a game of chess where it's like you make your move, I'll make my move. There, Manu's saying you're about to make your move of moving the keeper, getting ready for that cross. We saw it at the back post. And then his turn is saying, okay, I'll take it on the power shot. The woodwork, the only thing standing in the way from stopping him from taking that 2-1 lead.
Yeah, it'll make it. Hold on a minute. Haaland's going to win that. Dembele.
Expect something creative on the edge of the box here. He just keeps thinking up to Haaland. He's looking for the angle.
Couldn't find it. Couldn't find the right spaces in and around the area. Good defending from Manu. But I was just saying he's going to be in Stingray's head now. Is Stingray going to want to commit with that goalkeeper movement as aggressively now?
Yeah, the air fryer out with the amount of chips that were going in there.
Well, at least we all got that one, eh? Terrible.
Shaking my head, I'll be honest.
Well, there you have it at half-time. The other match that's taking place right now is Tex against Rampazzo.
And there's only going to be one game left.
There is.
By that, we'll have 8 players already confirmed for Sunday's 32.
You see Guy Barrios sat behind him. Got the opportunity to watch Guy Barrios plenty at the Comebol Libertadores.
Top 3.
He was
in Dallas, wasn't he?
I think it surprised a lot of people, not me. I saw it in Sao Paulo firsthand. Big player that he can be.
I like him. Offensively, it's ridiculous. Just the skill moves, the build-up play, everything is mechanically is perfect. Yeah, he's so creative. Oh, he's in.
Big chance for Rampazzo. Can Neymar just squeeze it in? He can't. Schmeichel does very well.
Tex, he thrives in these moments, winning by a multiple amount of goals here. He knows that Rampazzo is going to have to go forward, and Tex is very, very comfortable in dictating the tempo of a lot of games he plays. The possessions play, the byline play as well. And I just said that he's run out of play, but usually anyway, he's still, in my opinion, the best at doing it.
And we just say it's probably something that the community as a whole has forgot about Tex, because we can see the talent going forward, but in his heyday, one of the things that he was just so good at was making you work to try and get the ball back. Defensively so sound, and when he is at his best, it's so difficult to just get past and put the ball in the back of the net.
Yeah, the moment he sees you start to chase shadows, I think it sort of pushes him even more just to keep possession and make sure he makes the right choices to frustrate his opponent even more here. And the only offense, Capdevila into Toni Kroos to Vitinha, tries to find space to get goal number 5 against Rampazzo, but the game ticks on. Remember, Rampazzo did take the lead early on.
You see that pause coming in there. 73 minutes on the clock now. A couple of changes will be implemented here. The 4-3-3 third variation with the 2 CDMs and a centre mid, as we're back underway for the second half very shortly between Stingray and Manu Bashir. As Tex just getting a few words of wisdom there from Zach Moore on board.
How much do you think we've seen the corner so many times throughout the season for Tex? You think that is a lot of Zach coming through, helping him?
That's Zach Moore, I promise. That is vintage Zach Moore. Any set piece, that's a workaround there. He spends hours just mastering.
We saw that first sort of swinger of a corner back in the Premier League, didn't we?
I think we saw it FC Pro as well. Yeah, even before then. It wasn't as prevalent as it was in the Premier League and even in this tournament now, but it's just something that a lot of players don't have.
Big chance. Stingray back in the driving seat. What a start to the second half here.
We did have that technical pause between the two players. And just as we get the second half underway, an early goal can set you up very nicely, Ryan. It can just set the tempo. It can be the pace setter. Like when the first day of a new month starts on a Monday, it just puts you in a good mood.
It's a new one from you, to be fair.
He's been getting creative, has Stingray. You're just going to see, can he get into his groove? It's been quite stagnant staccato this game. It's been very disjointed at times. Stingray was on top, then Manu was on top, then Stingray sort of back and forth, then they restarted the game, and now you've got to try and get back into the rhythm once again. We talked about Rampazzo and Tex in a qualifying matchup. Rampazzo give Tex a little bit of his own medicine from a corner. 4-2 now with, what we got, 12 minutes left to play?
And you say about how these players are going back and forth and, you know, one has a little bit of a phase of play. That's how it's going to be when both are unbelievably talented. You're going to have that little 10-minute spell where you're on top and then the opponent's going to find their little way. And it's just about whether you can weather that storm when that comes and know that your opportunities will be there throughout the whole 90 minutes.
Stingray very nearly winning that back there from the goal kick. I mean, you could argue, Rich, that as this Tex game does start to come to an end, it's the first sort of major name that we're seeing in this top 32. There's been a lot of surprises today.
Yeah, there certainly has. We've got a lot of players left to go as Manu Bechore goes 3-1 down against Stingray.
And we can confirm as well that we have kicked off game D. We'll drop in there for a couple of in-game seconds. And this will be the final game to conclude from this first sitting of players. It's Musti against Karim. And this is a match to qualify yourself for the top 32 as well. Well, you guys were saying it perfectly. Karim has had so many lower bracket games, Ryan.
Yep, he's been incredible. I saw Stokes on social media giving credit to him as well. Doesn't use Haaland offensively, which obviously a lot of players, you would argue that's pretty much in, I would say, 90% of starting 11s from the players that are involved in this competition.
It's the easy pick.
Mbappe finds Dembele. This is Musti, who we haven't really seen on the pro circuit for quite some time.
With how these games are going to take shape, let's head back to game B. We can see the final stages of it and then come back to Musti and Karim is back because Rampazzo
missed it. That's a big chance.
He's getting tight in this game.
Yeah, that's a big chance. I think now, Tex having possession from the keeper, it would be very unlikely to give up 2 goals in 5 minutes plus added time.
And the one good thing about having big players on your team, you can do that, what he just did there. Launch it long, play it into one of them, hold it up. That's a rush from Rampazzo. It could be made.
Play that. Yep, he's in.
To be punished here.
Doesn't need to score again, really, does he? But if
Keep
anything,
possession.
to take time out of the game. Tex doing enough to cement himself into the top 32. Out of the 512 players that will be in action across today and tomorrow. Only 6 will make it to the Esports World Cup. What's to be 100% safe, because you never know. 3 minutes valid time is going to be thrown your way. He still will have to defend this. Well played from Absolute. He comes in as a staple right back to do the job. May have missed the replay there. That was an opening goal in that game for Karim. 1-0 he leads now. And we went 4-0 up in 12 minutes against Stokes in his last matchup. Added time of 2 minutes. We can confirm that 5 will become 6 now in our top 32. One more goal if he wants to solidify the deal. Congratulations to Tex. He'll be in the playoffs on Sunday.
He's not made it look easy by any stretch of the imagination, but when he's had to pull a performance out, he has done that, and he will be going through into that top 32, and even still be a name that people don't want to play against, as we just saw Ronaldo for Tex put the 5th and the final nail in the coffin.
Someone else, Rich, who's had a fantastic start in what seems to be all his games that have been on the broadcast section of today here in DreamHack Sweden. Is Karim 2-0 up now.
What would we say? 6 back-to-back losers games.
More than that. I think this would be number 9.
Wow.
Have we got any energy left at that point?
You've got to think this is the first, so he's been here since, what, 8 a.m.?
He's been playing since 9, hasn't he?
And right now it's 10 p.m.
Could be in for a third, potentially so. Mbappe stopped in his tracks.
Yeah, Musty, it's an opportunity. He's trying to edge back into this game. Did we get a fact check on the losers'
8 games. This is number 8.
Wow.
He lost his first match.
Lost his first game, and then he's been on
unbeaten
a
since.
relentless streak through the loser bracket. Some way to make the event.
9-minute half.
Sunday, I should say.
That's a lot of FC to be played.
We were watching earlier on today behind Connor Skinner, who won the Wicked Wednesday qualifier. He lost his first game against Nicholas and then won, what was it, 4 in a row to get to losers. Three in a row. He won on penalties and late games. And even just 4 games, it felt long. It felt
exactly. Double that
he
now.
went in for a shift. Yeah, double the amount of games. Some on the main stage, some in the pit. He's been waiting.
Let's jump back if we can to game C. And it's 3-0 to Karim. He's just scored a big goal in that one as well. 3-0, he leads now. He is very much finding the form at the right time, Alex, which is not easy. We'll keep talking about it. It's a lot of FC to be played, and the fact you're still sort of getting better and better every game as like the pressure in the games get bigger and more as well.
Yeah, and some players just absolutely thrive off that. As we see Rivaldo taking it in on that right foot, finesse shot. Green time as well, just to seal the deal. And yes, still so much to be played, but given that Karim has just done what he needed to do against Stokes, you would imagine that could be almost game done.
Big chance. How is that got over from Arnott? Not even on target.
He got a nice rebound inside the box there with Kevin De Bruyne linking up the play, and if that goes in 4-1, you probably think it's all she wrote.
Scrappy, this one.
Said it at half time. There's not been real rhythm in this game. It's been very, very edgy.
And yes, Manu, we know, is going to be there at the Esports World Cup. But even still, to see him not make it through to Sunday here
will be surprising.
Be a shock.
But also not seeing Stingray there
would be a shock as well.
Yeah.
And I go back to the point that, yes, Sting probably feels a bit hard done by that he's playing against a player that he's already qualified. But you go on to win this game, and there's no reason why you can't look at it and go, okay, well, I'm going to go and get that qualification
exactly.
spot.
It's the confidence is huge for Stingray. He's a confidence player, and I feel as if this will bring him leaps and bounds further in this competition if he can just see this out. 10 minutes or so left in this game.
Good track in. I really like that from Stingray there, just knowing that the through ball is exactly what Manu wanted to look for, saying I'm going to switch to Theo Hernandez and just track it all the way, giving yourself that five-yard head start.
So if he didn't, he'd have been in behind.
Yeah, and he is in behind here. Stingray in on goal to make it 4-1. Plays it across. Overplayed.
Could that be a swing moment? That would have been the dagger.
Oh.
And now Manu fires one past the post with the power shot.
It was a difficult scenario for Sting because Manu was so quick to bring the goalkeeper out and close the angle down. It's like, okay, I don't really have the time for a power shot. Yes, maybe I could go across goal, but the goalkeeper's closed it down so much. Am I really going to find it? Maybe not. Just caught in 2 minds.
Here we go. This could be the one to end it. Mbappe turns in, finesse, and Stingray's on his feet, and rightly so. 4-1 up against Manny Bashir, and that will cement his spot in Sunday. Top 32 players.
Big for him as well, especially after the disappointment in Dallas.
Yep.
Tell you who will not be disappointed here in Jönköping, Sweden. That is Karim is back. He has just added a 4th goal. Wow.
Goal for the hosts, number 9,
Barely as many minutes. It's a outstanding start for him in his final match of the day.
Nice to see Stingray there just laughing and smiling, knowing that job is pretty much done. And for Manu, yes, that does mean that he will be exiting this tournament. But All right, Mbappe.
Well, that one was flying into the top corner. GG's there, commiserations to Manu Bishore. Remember, he's already in Riyadh. This tournament will just end a little bit earlier than he would have liked in this extra practice one, you could argue. He'll be back at the FC Pro World Championships in July and then back in Riyadh for the Esports World Cup. And in our final game of this first sit-in, it's back over here. 4-0, Karim is leading.
Yeah, a really, really impressive performance. We saw Musty earlier on today. First game of the day, I think, on broadcast.
Oh, that's sensational.
But what Karim is doing right now, he's dismantling Musty, and that's 5. He is
even Musty
in
just looking.
fine form right now.
He's just looking, he knows, man. I feel like maybe the defender could have intercepted it on another day, but when it rains, it pours. Karim is back 5-0 up. The only player so far to have gone through all of the loser bracket games, and I'm going to say made it into the top 32.
Not only raining, torrential right now.
Yeah.
Congratulations to Stingray. He is into the 32. To join Dudu, Kian, Luco, JH7. Tugo Van Splunten, Tex, and Stingray. One more player remains, and you may as well write it in there as Karim is back.
We're seeing his levels of performance from Karim. It's truly remarkable.
Karim is, he's looking dangerous. Oh,
Karim is back.
He really is. Oof.
5-0 down at half time.
I mean, I believe we watched Karim is back last year at the Serie A in Lecce. And we sort of saw that performance there. He played well, but there was always that thing missing. He looks to have just matured a little bit more than anything, because the on-pitch performance was always there, but he looks to be just a much more well-rounded player now.
And it was the year before as well, where he fell. Again, you saw that quality, but he fell short. Next year at the Serie A, came back, and yes, there was that more to his game, but that maturity just wasn't quite there. And now we're just seeing it. It's almost like it's been working. He's been putting the reps in time and time again. And now for that third year, we're seeing what is an unbelievable performance against Stokes and now up against Musty.
And that comes as well from potentially going and playing in a different league.
Yep.
He moved over, teamed up with Marwan, his teammate for Bordeaux, has had to move and travel a lot into the French E-League One, which is not an easy league by any means. And
probably on paper the toughest.
We've seen players that have gone over there, done that, and certainly been rewarded for it. May have not won the tournament, they may not have been in the top 4 or got any Champions League ticket from it, but still the practice they would have got is huge.
The player that we just watched, Stingray, he went over there, won it with Puma for FC Lorient. Montaxa, who did it this year alongside Fuma. I think you are seeing a more well-rounded Karim back. And again, you don't want to play him at all in that 32-team bracket.
No.
So it does reset for him. He's done the losers run now.
Yep.
He's in a fresh bracket. He's back in the winners bracket when we go to 32.
It's a restart, isn't it? You get your 2 lives back.
Fair play to him. He's definitely earned it.
And I think as well a bonus for Karim is the fact that he's gone and done this today. He's now got tomorrow to have a bit of a reset, maybe have a bit of time off and get some practice in later on in the evening, and then come back on Sunday. Well, as if you're doing this tomorrow, it's like, right, to bed, and then I'm back again. There isn't much time for you to kind of mentally reset and go, did I actually just do that? Did I just go and win 8 games in a row to qualify?
And we start to tee up that 8 players that we've just seen come through from the first 128. Khan of Galatasaray is in there. Luca is in there of ECV. JH7. Tygo Van Splunten has come through there as well. Tex, yes, you'd argue should be in there as well. Stingray again. It could have been him or Manu that come through. Dudu earlier today from Brazil. And then Karim with a crazy performance here. Out of all the players in that 128 in that morning sit-in, I don't think you would have called those 8 players
No,
Maybe 2 or 3 of them.
You wouldn't.
I would say, yeah.
No, Nicholas.
I'd give myself 3.
What's the 3?
I think you'd give yourself 1.
Texan Sting.
Even though they're on that bracket, you could have said Manu, couldn't you? You could have
100%.
said Nicholas.
Do. I'm a big fan of South American FC. I know what they can offer.
But also, you say that we came into this day saying who are going to be the 8 players, the first 8 players. We all know it's never going to be the ones that you would most expect. There's always upsets. There's always shot players saying, I'm here to make my statement, put my mark on it, and find their way.
You could have said Diogo Peixoto until he got knocked out from Cameron Skinner on penalties in losers round 3.
Where did he come from again?
Go for a Wicked Wednesday.
Going for the Wicked Wednesday road to Riyadh qualified, didn't it? But again, a perfect example there of no one is safe in this tournament. Oh, this is starting to conclude. I will have a little bit of a browse of what's happening in the afternoon sitting here today.
What a performance. I know we spoke a lot about Kirimi's back in this, but I want to flip the coin. We can say what a performance and what a bad performance from Musty.
He just got caught off guard. And obviously one between
never got going.
3 and 4, and then it was just it's out of your reach, especially if he gets number 5 now. And then when he did, and it's a tough one.
Once you go 3 down in like 10-15 minutes, pause, recalibrate,
Yeah.
take the time that you are required.
Because you would have seen Kieran's, he'd done it back-to-back games. Done it against Stokes as well. Was
Blitz.
3
Just
up in
blitz.
9 minutes. Yeah.
Yep.
Started off extremely well, and he's a player to look out for. He's very impressive going forward.
And Musty's got that experience.
Musty's, again, I mentioned it already. I saw his game against Stokes earlier, and I was so impressed. I felt as if it was the old Musty from years gone by, and he's up against Kirimir's back now, who's just in incredible form. Musty on the attack, can get one back. Dembele does.
Is there a chance?
We would have to see probably the greatest 25 minutes.
Stokes scored 4? I think it was 6-4 at one point, and then the keeper came up and then conceded.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
If Musty gets 3, makes it 5-3, gets a little bit...
A lot of ifs and buts.
A bit tetchy.
I would like to say yes, let's have that hope, and let's hopefully see a comeback come through. But the camp right now of Musty and Alba don't really look like that's on the cards. Maybe they're just saying, let's just focus and see what we can do. There wasn't much reaction from either one of them.
There could be another one here for Musty. Good tackle inside the box.
Haaland. Mbappe. 4 goals would win him the game in 21 minutes. The pause comes in.
Well, I don't know if
a long time still.
I don't know if you got the phone. Just hold it for a second.
Still 3 minutes or so of real life time to be played in this one. Into the pause we go now. And because of this Esports World Cup, these players have been basically given any player they want to use in the game. There is unlimited choices on the bench.
What would you like to see, Ryan, at this point from Musty? Do you just fly bodies at it?
I genuinely think he has to. You've got, what was it, 20? Or just
20 minutes.
Just 20 minutes, 3 goals. I think you have to go some sort of press, even if it's just press after possession loss or just anything. You have to do something. Constant press. You have it set up, without doubt. I'll be honest, I think he should go to it.
Also, every player's at 99 stamina at this point in the game.
I think, but it's not even about that. It's about the space. You know when you go for it, you're going to have...
Oh, there's going to be so much space behind.
Yeah, you're going to have one chance when you've got possession. Bodies will be flooding forward. The moment you lose that, in your mind, you're sort of thinking, uh-oh, this could be the game. But then if he stays as he does now, obviously for Kirimir's back, he'll just be sensible, keep possession, the clock ticks down, and then you're going to have to go anyway.
We saw a little cheeky smile from Musty and Marava, just kind of saying, okay.
You never know, but I doubt it, to be honest. But you never know.
You've done it before, a big comeback, right?
4, not what was it? 5-0 was down.
It was
5 is
5-0
for me.
at
5
half,
is
5-0 shouldn't
be possible.
be a thing.
Yeah, 4, even then.
But in your heyday, it was 6 minutes a half, 9.
True.
20 minutes is a little bit more.
True.
You never know.
We'll believe.
Ryan Passau was up playing his Kurumi's back.
Yep, on this form as well. Better players.
I've been in with Ryan in many commentaries and comebacks this season, and I don't think at any Ryan's thought there'd be a comeback. And to be fair, he's normally right. Let's see if Musty can prove us wrong, though. Remember, this will be our last player to go through from this first sitting here today. And then we'll be keeping you up to date with the other 3 sittings of players tomorrow. 32 will make it through the end of play by tomorrow night, and then we'll be back for Sunday for the big playoffs. Every time he can win the ball back or win these moments, just take more time out of the game. Horrible heavy touch there. Mbappe would have won a free kick anyway, which he does. Taking all the time he needs. This will be game 8 for him, did you say?
Yep.
Game 8.
Yeah, that's in the loser bracket, so 9 overall.
9 games he's played. He's been here since the early hours this morning. About 9, 10 a.m. they kicked off here. What a turn that is. See you later. Mbappe!
Yeah, fair play.
Krim is back to be thinking, let's play the playoffs now. Because he's on fire.
And that's probably the only negative. He's got nearly 48 hours to wait until he plays again.
Doesn't want the day off tomorrow, does he?
I disagree. I think he's got to be looking at this and going, I've just played 9 games of FC.
But he's getting better. Don't know how.
The concentration's got to dip at some point. Is it the 10th, 11th, 12th? Who knows? Like, a massive credit to him to be able to do this and fight his way through. He's probably the only player that will do it this weekend.
He's not done yet. Commiserations to Musty. Shot comes in. He might win a corner. 4 goals in 10 in-game minutes. Slibovini Jr. Skills are pretty, but space isn't that's available. Interesting heavy touch there from Hullet.
Yeah, I think when you look back at this game for Musty, it was lost within, the first 30 minutes? Just going 3-4 goals down in such a short period of time.
Oh.
Leaves too much to be required.
Time just ticking away from it.
The fascinating thing about watching Krumi's back, he doesn't necessarily... We don't see a lot of crosses from him. It's a lot of sort of that build-up play in the middle of the pitch and then the pass just to very quickly accelerate the attack or play the through ball, and then when he's in these areas in around, you might see a perfect example of it here as Havertz drives towards the byline. As soon as this ball gets into the box, he's clinical.
It's like you knew.
Didn't really need the reverse elastico there, but just thought, you know what? I'll mix it in because why not? Congratulations, Grim is back. He's in the top 32. If you didn't already know, and he'll be back on Sunday to fight for a ticket to the Esports World Cup in Riyadh.
I think he's a type of player as well that this season has said, okay, we know playing it in the air, looking for your aerial is kind of the go-to for the majority of players. That isn't how I think I can succeed the best. I'm going to play the way that I believe I can get the results. There's very few players that can do that and say, I'm not going to buy into what everyone else is doing. I'm going to stick to my guns and play the way that I want to play. And thankfully, it's worked for him.
Hey, Surely not. That would have been one hell of a way to get an 8th goal there. Of a bicycle kick from Jude Bellingham. Offside from Muslim. And you could honestly argue that might be the end of his season for this year. For a lot of these players that have not got any Euros or an FC Pro World Championships to play for, that will be the end of the road. They know it's GG's between the two of them. He is over the moon. You would be after a lower bracket run like he's at.
Unbelievable.
What a run. It was the gladiator run. And not many people can do it. Some players, 5 wins, 6 wins. He has picked up win after win after win, and look what it means to him. Crimmi's back. We'll be back on Sunday for the top 32, where 6 will be going to the Esports World Cup. Let's have a look at the best moments. Ryan, talk me through what we saw from Karim.
Yeah, it was blistering from the get-go. Just quick, snappy passes, Dembele into Rivaldo. Just the composure, that's beautiful. To cut inside as well for the finesse shot. This was a mistake. Switch play. Dembele manages to get there ahead of Havertz on the switch. Retrieves possession again on the finesse, green timed, and he's just deadly from those areas because of the play styles.
Yeah, no hesitation there. And the green time coming through. Rivaldo was the one that drove forward into that 18-yard box, just beating Van Dijk, and then sticking it over to that right foot. Just green, 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 green. And when you can do that, you know you're going to find plenty of chances to put the ball in the back of the net. 4-0 to the good, and it was just easy for him.
And I don't recall him having that many shots, because everything he hit went in. Like, it's not like he had 25 shots and scored 5 goals or 6 goals or 7 goals. If I was to dig out the stats, he might have only had 9 shots on target. His conversion rate is incredible in and around the box. Musty did make a game of it. He got one back with 20 minutes left to play. However, in the final 15, Kermi's back, put it out of his sight.
Yeah, I mean, look, this goal here, just to seal the deal.
Didn't even need the player look. Didn't even need it. It was just a little bit extra just to show how mechanically gifted he has been throughout this tournament today, and it's been an incredible run from him.
It certainly has, and what a day it has been as well here in Sweden. We've got 8 players who are going to be in that top 32. We can have a look at the brackets of those players and see the matchups that they did succeed with. So we're going to run you through the lower finals here. This is all the players that qualified through the lower finals today. Karim is back, Stingray, Tex, and Tiger van Spluntern. On the other side of it, the winners bracket and the winners finals were very, very solid as well. Brandon, you can see the players who did it flawlessly.
Yeah, you can indeed. I mean, I'd say the biggest surprise out of all of those players, ECV Luca coming through. We haven't seen him for a long time, since the E-Premier League back in 2021, where he represented Brighton of Albion. Dudu, one of the Brazilians that has made it through. JH7, after a disappointing Dallas run, comes back firing here in Sweden. And, of course, it was GS Khan that did knock Tex down into that lower bracket. But as you did see, Tex also did make it through there. 8 players are through, as Richard said. There are still 24 more players to find tomorrow.
Yeah, it's been an incredible day. I've got to ask you all, 512 players, we've seen 128. We've seen a quarter of the competition today. Brandon, you were in Dallas, we've doubled the amount of players. What have you made of it today?
I think we've had more unexpected results here. I mean, we had 16 players that made it to our playoffs on Sunday, and there was more, you could argue, more well-known names there. You had a few maybe outsiders here. No one is safe, and you've really felt this hardcore esports tournament that it is.
If you were playing on the Saturday and you watched today, are you coming in today a little bit scared?
No.
Into tomorrow, knowing that no one's safe?
I wouldn't feel scared. I feel as if you sort of have to embrace it. There's a reason why you've decided to buy a ticket for this tournament, and it's because you back your abilities to go the distance. So I'm sure there'll be, well, I guess, it kind of depends though. Because if you look at it one way, actually, you can just say, all right, there's been a couple of delays. We're not going to hide from that. Maybe it's out the window now. Maybe it'll be smooth sailing tomorrow, and who knows, and it waits to be seen.
Alex.
Lose your voice there, Richard.
Get a bit emotional there, Richard.
It's been an incredible day. If you made it through, what are you doing tomorrow? You made it through today. Saturday, what's the plan? Are you going to practice in? If your Karim is back, are you sleeping all day? Like, what's the plan for tomorrow?
I think a big breakfast in the morning after your hard work today.
Yeah.
The players
Enjoy it.
Yeah, the players have been here a long time today. And just have a bit of time to yourself. And then in the afternoon, it's about, okay, is there anything we can change, anything new? We saw X player doing this. Can we look to adapt that into our game? And just giving yourself that bit of practice, but don't go too heavy on it. Just make sure you get that good rest, and then you come into Sunday knowing you've got the best performance ahead of you.
I've got to say, it's been an absolute pleasure joining on the commentary desk with you three fine gentlemen. We will be back tomorrow to cover the remaining players. We've got 3 rounds of groups, 128 of the best competitors from the globe will be coming here to Sweden to battle it out for 6 spots. Do not miss this weekend. It is the road to the Esports World Cup, and it continues tomorrow.